kinked out, all the kinks out of the kink. Woo! I'm already a little drunk. All right, cool. That hit me quick. That might be the new favorite. Oh, that's not gonna wear his way bright. That's not bright enough. That's way too. No, it's not gonna work. That's too bright. I'm sorry, man. I'm still getting everything adjusted. I'm drunk though, so we're good. We're good there as far as that goes. I'm already kind of drunk. How you doing, man? Hang on, I'm still trying to get everything adjusted, man. I'm sorry. I don't know. Work was all right tonight. It was all right. Hey, man, how you doing? You feeling good? Hell yeah. I'm feeling pretty good. I might have to move the. I don't know, man. I'm trying to. I do want to put this light on, but that light, that's too much. That's too much. Hang on, if I do that, no, that doesn't help. That's just too much. I don't know, man. I'm always feeling good. Hell yeah. It's like, yeah, I'm on disability, man. They give me like 400 oxycodones a month, man. I'm always feeling all right. I used to know a guy like that. Well, like he was in a car crash at 14. He got hit. He was on a BMX bike. He got hit by a car, and then still to this day, he has like an open wound on his leg. Like it never actually like healed all the way, and you can see his bone. Like you can see his shin from this car crash that he was in. And so that like the doctors, they've gotten a problem agreeing with him when he says he's in pain because you can see the bone, like the skin is like it never regrew. It's like, so I don't know, he just hangs out eating oxycodone all day. I mean, he's probably doing something else now. This was like 15 years ago or so. Y'all know, I'm sorry. I apologize for the light. I'm out here at the campground, so there's not a whole lot of electric out here. But I figured this would be a good place to drink because I can just go ahead and camp for the night. How y'all doing? How y'all doing? Welcome in. Welcome in. If you only just found me on that last video I made, I'm sorry. I apologize. I've been fighting the YouTube algorithm for a long time now. Well, not a lot, like 6 months. It's about about the normal. You know what I mean? You can't make a mountain out of a molehill. You know what I mean? You can at least make a molehill every day, right? If you can at least make a molehill every day, after a couple of years, you might have a mountain. I don't know. Yeah, I need to get a Jackery. I wait to get to a van. I want the van for a bigger apartment would be the better would be the better move at this point. Getting a bigger apartment, and then I want to get a rice cooker definitely because I could boil noodles and I could throw a pound of fucking noodles from the grocery store into it and cook those. But yeah, like I want to get a rice cooker and a Jackery. I'm not thinking Jackery. I'm an Anchor boy. Like, I got my Anchor, my 10,000, or that's my 20,000 Anchor, and then I got another 10,000 Anchor, but it's buried. I got a bunch of trash. Tomorrow's trash day, basically. I gotta get all this trash out of the car. But yeah, it's not too bad, man. You get used to it after a while, man. Like, I'm almost getting to the point, like, other than for safety, like for the safety reasons of like locking yourself behind a deadbolt, I'm like, I really don't know. I really don't even fucking know if I need a house. Like, granted, it'd be different if I was a woman, right? Like, 'cause granted, every time I'd need to go to the bathroom would be a problem if I was a woman. You know what I mean? But since I'm a guy and I have like my plumbing is built for more outdoor, you know, it's not, it's not too bad, man. Like I said, I wake up in the morning, I get that morning rush, that morning, feeling. But after that morning feeling, either I find a bathroom or I can, yeah, that's the biggest problem. Honestly, it's crazy, but I'm doing all right. I'm like, been homeless since September this time, and I'm trying to make this be the last time. I don't want to, keep having to fucking bounce back from homelessness, over and over and over again. But I don't know. I don't know which direction God's even got for me. Yeah, no, I'm trying to stop smoking. It's from living in the car. I'm basically like living in traffic, and then I Uber drive basically like as a cure for boredom from living in the car, right? So I'm like from living in the car. I don't have like a couch to chill on. I don't have like I can't lay in my bed, chill in my bed for like five. I can't wake up and then like just chill in bed for 5 hours. You know what I mean? So I wake up and I'm in the car. And I get bored. I mean, there's only so much shit to watch on YouTube. That's why I started creating my own content because you know what I mean. It started to get to the point the stuff that they were trying to put in front of me to watch. I was like, I don't want to watch this shit. It's like man, I'm living a more interesting life than half the shit that they're trying to put in front of me for me to watch. I'm like, man, I don't know. Not that I'm really trying to get into like IRL streaming, but I don't know. I think it would be beneficial for me to like broadcast, live stream myself while I'm Uber driving because I'm already making videos of myself while I'm Uber driving. You know what I mean? And there's a lot of people they're on the cusp of like they're about to drive for DoorDash or you know what I mean. They thought about it, because they could use an extra $100 a month even. You know what I mean? So it's a pretty good niche right now because there's a lot of people that are thinking about it. It's fine. I get my mom okay, and I've told her to stop smoking, but she don't want to do it. I'm trying, man. It's just like I don't have, like this is my PlayStation, right? Like this is me like going home and then I turn on my PlayStation for the day or, like it just gets, I'm stuck in traffic. I can't smoke my bowl, and I can't just smoke marijuana while I'm at a traffic light. You know what I mean? So I smoke the cig. It's just something to do, man. Like more than anything. And then they're cherry flavored, so it's like smoking a lollipop, kind of sort of, which is probably even worse. I'm sorry, I'm a little drunk, man. This is a Saturday show, man. Saturday shows, I'm not always gonna be drunk, but if I'm drinking, I'm gonna wait until Saturday to do it to kind of make the show better, hopefully. I do apologize. The camera I know is shitty, just flat out. I do apologize for my language as well. Yeah, I mean, it's easy to survive. It's 2026, bro. I mean, that's the thing is like everybody thinks it's like such, it's a bad reality, yeah, to be homeless, you know what I mean? But in order for half of us to live the American dream, half of us have to live through the American nightmare for the other half to like be able to stand on our heads or on our shoulders, like you know what I mean? It's just a fact of life, you know what I mean? Like it's all part of growing up, or however you want to say it, you know what I mean? It's just like and nobody really wants to grow up, you know what I mean? Like that's why they're like, oh god, I gotta do some adulting today, fucking go, I still haven't filed my fucking taxes. I gotta file my taxes. I'm worried about that because it's gonna be a huge fucking game. I gotta track down all this different fucking paperwork and shit. Look, like granted, I'm gonna go to H&R Block and give them like half of my return to process it for me. You know what I mean? But I'm almost smart enough I could do it myself. It. I would rather have H&R Block be responsible if something comes, if something comes back or this, that, and the other doesn't get accepted, or whatever reason. I can be like, well, then y'all need to go talk to H&R Block because that was my financial accountant when when I did that, I was through H&R Block. So y'all need to, I don't know. And really, the saddest part is I really don't even fucking really make an income as it is. So I'm really trying to just get to the point where I can. I've been doing fine with like 14K a year, and then for me to work any more than that, they just want to tax me. So you know what I mean. I'm just trying to cut my spending down to where I can just keep living fine with like the 14K a year. I know it's crazy to a lot of people. You know what I mean. You're just used to so much more. We come from a land of privilege. You know what I mean? It's not really like a promised land anymore. It's like a privileged land. A lot of the promise is gone. You know what I mean? Or I don't know, dude. It's the way the housing market has gotten. I really don't. I'm really not even worried about buying, like fucking paying to live somewhere that's overpriced to begin with. Doesn't really sound logical. Like it sounds like borderline insanity. You know, if I'm only making like 2 grand a month, why am I paying 1,500 a month for housing? But it's just gotten that insane, and like we're all in a competition with each other where, if we won't pay it, they'll find somebody else that will, and I don't know what the fuck we're really paying for, after a while, it's like, I don't know, man, you get used to it. After, like I said, just being used to just being in the car, there's a certain amount of loneliness, you know what I mean? Like, that's why I go live. You know what I mean? I go live, try to read what y'all are saying, try to bounce off what y'all are saying, hang out with y'all, just for whatever reason or another, just to feel like you're not alone in this bitch. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, man. Because really, I honestly, what would be the dream, right? You talk like, get like 5 homies, right? So there's like a group of like 6 of y'all, and y'all all have your own van, right? And y'all all just kind of like stormtroop together, like you got 5 different people in 5 different vans, all at the same Walmart parking lot, right? And then the 5 of y'all can all kind of like watch out for each other. Not really that y'all sleep in shifts, but you know what I mean. Like between the 5 people, and say your vans are parked like right next to each other too. Like the boom, there's just these 5 vans parked next to each other, and it's just 5 dudes all hanging out, or five, whatever, 5 people. Doesn't have to be dudes, but it'd be a lot easier on a dude ultimately because of our outdoor plumbing setup. You know what I mean? About half the time, 2/3 of the time when you have to go to the bathroom, you won't have to worry about it as a guy. You know what I mean? The other 1/3, we have to figure out something. You know what I mean? But I don't know. I think it'd be cool if, like, because there's some van lifers, that's what they already do. Like, partner with other people that are van lifers. You know what I mean? And you got strength in numbers as well as, like, so, oh, I heard that. Somebody, one of the 5 of you is up. I don't know. You know what I mean? It's just you got people to watch your back, kind of help you out. You're helping them out at the same time. You know what I mean? It would be honestly, I think it'd be better than paying fucking $2,000 a month to live somewhere, and then get a roommate, and hopefully they pay hopefully they pay for their room, right? So I get a $2,000 apartment and then get a roommate that's supposed to split it with me, so we're each on the hook for $1,000 a month, or for the same $1,000 a month, we could buy another beater car. We could buy a beater every month, right? Like, it sounds stupid. I know it does. It really does. It's more or less like if you're low enough that you're thinking about that. You know what I mean? Like it's a possibility on the horizon. You know what I mean? But I don't know. I'm trying to produce content for reason, trying to like create a channel, like at least to, not really that I'm looking at the monetization, but I'd be lying if I said I wasn't. You know what I mean? Like really, I'm doing it just to create like my own video autobiography of my story. You know what I mean? Because I think honestly, I'm not gonna stop moving. Like I might slow down as I get older, and I already have. You know what I mean? I kind of like, I don't know, dude. Like when you're playing spades, and you don't have any spades in your hand, so you just start throwing whatever diamond or club, you do have one more spade. You got one more spade in your hand. but you're gonna play your diamonds and your clubs. You know what I mean? Like, you hold on to that one last spade. I don't know. It's a weird analogy. I know, man. I'm sorry. I'm drunk. Wait, how do you have internet? Because the phone has 5G. That's how 5G works. And I'm in Florida. I'm in the woods, kind of where I'm at. So that's probably why you might be getting a buffering wheel every now and then. That's probably why the frame rate's shitty. Like, as you could see when I move my hands, you can see how shitty the frame rate is. It's just this phone. I do want to upgrade the phone, but I'm trying to wait and see if the channel wants to pop at all first, because I don't want to just be feeding a dead horse. You know what I mean? If the horse is gonna kick back, then boom, okay, yeah, let's do it. You know what I mean? It seems like it is for the most part. So I think at this point I'm kind of hurting my channel more than help. You know what I mean? But I gotta do what I gotta do. You know what I mean? I'm trying to eat for less than $10 a day, and then I also have no way to cook my own food. So it's a little tricky. It's not that it's impossible. You know what I mean? Like, I can eat like 1 or 2 meals a day and be full. You know what I mean? I go to Taco Bell for $5, less than $5. I can go to Taco Bell for less than $5, and then that's a decent. It's not a good meal, but it's a meal. You know what I mean? And then it might take another 12 hours before I'm hungry again. You know what I mean? I don't know, but I do have a craving for beef. I don't know. I always have a craving for beef or chicken. Like the refried bean that I get at Taco. You know what I mean? It's protein, but it's not like enough that it like fills that hole. You know what I mean? Like, I still need like an actual beef substitute or something. I don't know. So I go to McDonald's a lot because they got the cheeseburgers, and you buy one cheeseburger and you get another cheeseburger for $1 type of shit. So for $5 I can get another snack. That's basically how I've been trying to eat with less than $10 a day. Sorry, I realized that you don't have data. No, yeah, you're fine, man. It's like, it probably hit you like as you typed it and hit enter. You were like, oh wait, yeah, that's right. Yeah, I wasn't trying to be a dick there either. I know, I come off really abrasive sometimes. Yeah, I mean, if you ever get like, say if you're lucky enough, you're on the PlayStation Network, and you find this guy, his name is Crunkzilla, right? Like Crunk, like Little John Crunk, yeah, and then Zilla, like Godzilla, right? Crunkzilla. He might even be watching right now because he's a fucking true homie. You know what I mean? He might be one of the 5 viewers that I have right now. He might be watching. If you're lucky enough, you come across a dude on the PlayStation Network that his name is Crunkzilla. No numbers at the end, not, like the I is an L or the 1, and, nothing that, not like he's got 3s for E's, Crunkzilla. You ever get lucky enough, you run across that guy, you should try to make friends with him, because he's definitely he's a good gunner. You know what I mean? Like, any game you're playing, he's gonna fucking want to kill. He's gonna want to shoot. He's there with you. You know what I mean? Good guy to have on your team. If you ever do come across, I don't know, I'll stop. But yeah. Taco Bell is good and McDonald's is good, even if you get it under $10. Yeah, I don't know, dude. It's something to eat. I don't plan on eating it forever. But I know, like, once I leave the country, it's going to be, you know what I mean? I'm going to want a cheeseburger. As soon as I leave the country, go to another country, I'm going to want a cheeseburger. So I'm trying to enjoy all the cheeseburgers I can while I'm here. While I'm in this system, you can't help but be a part of it. You know what I mean? If you want to fight it to the point where you're kicking the system so much where the system wants to kick you back, and that's not really beneficial at that point. You're kicking the system so hard, Pretty much I had a guy tell me that he's like, just don't buck the system too much and you'll be all right. It's like, I don't know why a lot of people can't seem to realize that. People they freak out over giving the cop their ID. Like, fucking dude, like the whole reason you have an ID is so that the cops can ask you for it. You fucking idiot. You know, like I understand, yeah, you're not doing anything wrong. You didn't do anything illegal, so you don't have to show your ID. But fuck, if the cop has showed up, like it's already gotten to the point where the cop showed up. He got He got a call from dispatch to go there. It's like part of his job to now show up and investigate what's going on. Like, granted, he's not a detective, so he's not there to like pry open every little crowbar, every little bit of information he can find. He's just trying to like, why did I get called out here? What's going on? And then after that, once he figures out why he's there, and then granted, the people involved, it's I don't know, it's just stupid. And there's always somebody that wants to fight you on it. It's like, oh, it's your ID. And it's like, dude, the only reason we carry a plastic copy of our ID is so that it makes it easier for them to ID us when we're in that situation. It's just like, it's just so stupid, man. And the thing is, like, we don't even have, it's the thing is, computers are already to the point where we carry a plastic fucking card ID for like really no fucking reason as it is, right? It's it's all in the computer, and then they give you this laminated copy that's in plastic for you to carry around, so that way you can get in trouble if you don't have it, or this, that, whatever. You know what I mean? It's so stupid. People don't realize we already have a digital ID. It's already digital. It's already in the system, and they take a photo of you and then give you a card to carry around. It's like that already exists as like a profile in the computer. You know what I mean? It's so stupid, man. I'll stop on that too. It's just like, I'm not trying to lose my viewers. You know what I mean? The people that are in here, a couple people, you strike a chord with the wrong crowd, and then half the crowd's gone. Like I start talking about gun control, or the way I feel. I don't know, dude. Because honestly, it'd be nice to live in a country where there's not a Second Amendment right, so you don't have to worry about every other fucking person having a gun. So you need a gun to protect yourself from every other fucking idiot that's got a fucking gun, because they shouldn't have a fucking gun. They're not even mentally sound enough where they should have a firearm, but our Second Amendment right allows them to have it. I like Second Amendment. Yeah, I have my gun, and yeah, have my gun on my hip. And it's like, dude, you don't understand how much of a fucking pussy you are, because you either need to pull your gun out or call the police. It's like, and I get it, it's a pretty good equalizer. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter if you're 7 foot, 400 pound. It might take more than one bullet, but it's only going to take one gun to stop you. If it takes more than one bullet, it's only really going to take one gun. It's a good equalizer. I understand the fact of it, but there's too many people hiding behind them, and in in our country, half the people with guns, they have a gun, like I said, to protect themselves from the other half of the people with guns, and the other half of the people with guns have a gun because they're in the drug trade or somewhat, somehow or another, they're doing something that's slightly illegal, so they need a gun. So they need a gun so they can do how to make my money. So I'm gonna need a gun so I can keep making my money. It's I don't know. Like I said, I'm already trying to. I'm not trying to hit a chord. Just my own personal opinion, dude. Like, it seems like Japan has a lot less problems. You know what I mean? Like, I don't really know if it's really the drug game, or if it's a black market game, or if it's the gun crowd, or what it is exactly. The laziness of our own citizens, or the lack of actual valor. And I don't know. You know what I mean? Like I don't know. Let's see what we got here. Hopefully, when you upgrade, you'll be able to cook. I don't know if I want to fish, dude. I don't like fish, man. I don't like. I get it; it's free food. You know what I mean? Like, but I'd rather catch a fish and see if I could trade it to somebody. You know what I mean? If I could trade a fish for a cheeseburger. You know what I mean? That'd be the better way. I just don't like fish, man. It's just the smell. The smell. It doesn't smell appealing. I don't think we're supposed to be eating it. I think part of the reason we crawled out of water onto the land was because the food was better on the land. I don't know. And I still do believe in God, but I think evolution is us trying to explain God's rhythm through the time and everything that it takes to actually create everything. You know what I mean? like us trying to come up with the theory of evolution is us trying to explain the difference in time scale between us and God. I feel like, you know what I mean? Because at times, man, it's like I can't agree. I can definitely agree with evolution. We are fucking animals. You know what I mean? Like we're animals to the point where we literally built a pyramid scheme out of race. You know, now we're all kind of stuck in this pyramid scheme that our forefathers built out of race. You know, and so now we're all still racing each other. Like the dumbest thing, dude. It's the dumbest thing. We're all still like moving it like as fast as we can each day, so that we can keep ourselves in the race or where we are or from falling behind. You know, it's like it's so stupid. But that's life. You know what I mean? I don't know, I was watching a pretty good video on the Y files, like YWHY. It's here on YouTube. It's pretty interesting. He's got some good points he makes. Granted, some of it's like really sci-fi. The episode I was watching last night had a lot of like Scientology views in it. It seemed like I was like, is L. Ron Hubbard writing this episode? You know what I mean? The whole episode was like just fucking a Scientology view of every, like it was Buddhism, but it was also Scientology at the same time. Like they were talking about reincarnation and how your body, right? I think like your soul, whatever, your soul is one thing, your body is one thing. Like, you know what I mean? Your mind, you can separate the way that your mind, you know what I mean? Like I have a criminal mind, but I have a good soul that inhabits this criminal mind, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? So I really constantly at like a crossroads, you know what I mean? It's just the duality of living. But like your body is more or less like a vehicle. Like your soul can keep like the earth is kind of like a prison system, and we keep coming back at different times, right? And then your body, whatever body that you're given, whatever body that your soul is thrown into, that's just a vehicle for you to operate while you're here. And I was like, well, that's good philosophy. You know what I mean? Like as soon as he said that, I was like, man, they gave me a shitty ass vehicle to work with. You know, like fucking, I got this 1975 Ford Gremlin body. I'm supposed to try, this 1975 Ford Gremlin. I'm trying to, see what I can make in this world. It's fucking bullshit. You know what I mean? I don't know. I was trying to think of that. Like if I was like if my body was a vehicle, what vehicle would my body be? I was like, oh yeah, definitely be like a 1975 Ford Gremlin. I was just laughing so hard. I don't know. No, you're good. Keep on talking about anything. You're a good YouTube, and I try to be. Like I'm not that I'm trying to be. I'm trying to put on a show because I'm putting on a show. You know what I mean? Like I'm here to put on a show, so I'm trying to like fill, rather than just being a whole bunch of dead air. Sometimes I go live because I'm bored. So if you see me, go live and I'm just quiet for 20 minutes, but you'll notice I only have like one viewer, and then no one's talking. So I got no chat to bounce off of. You know what I mean? So it's the more viewer engagement I get from you, the better the show is. You know what I mean? I'm just trying to get to the point where there's enough people in the chat that y'all have your own thing going on. You know what I mean? Y'all can be y'all in there cracking jokes about me while I'm sitting here drunk, just babbling about some shit. You know what I mean? Official Danish. No, you're fine, man. Nothing wrong with it. I got it set to a 60-second timeout, like just because I don't know. You get a few people to subscribe, and then they'll forget to unsubscribe. You know what I mean? I don't know. You know what I mean? And then it does keep some of the riffraff out, and then you figure 60 seconds. If you're not cool enough that you can wait 60 seconds to type whatever you wanted to type, you fucking just go to another channel anyway. You know what I mean? It's like it's only fucking 60 seconds, bro. You know what I mean? That one channel I was just talking about, the Y Files, he's got a 3 month. You could be a subscriber. He goes live for whatever reason or whatever. You know what I mean? But you have to be a subscriber for 3 months before you can say anything in his chat. I'm like, oh my God, bro. You know what I mean? I don't know. but it's so huge a channel that his chat is just going crazy. For even the people that have been subscribed for more than 3 months, it's just going crazy. The people, you know what I mean? I don't know. But the dude, he was like he was an actual television producer, like for A&E. At the time when cable TV was dying and Netflix was starting to come out. Netflix was like the coolest thing. And cable TV was still around. I don't know. Like you remember that show Ghost Adventures with Zach, Nick, and Aaron. Like pretty much when Ghost Adventures was coming out, regular TV was also dying at the same time, and that was a really good show. But I'm trying to, I don't know if I could find a couple dudes that'd be down, man. We could make our own Ghost Adventures, dude. You know what I mean? Whatever. Like fuck it. But I'm trying to find, a couple other dudes if they maybe have their own channel and we're about the same size. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to find a dude with 50K subscribers that wants to give me half of his subscribers. You know what I mean? I'd rather us both have like about 1,000, and we're partnering with the. You know what I mean? I don't know. It'd just be an idea at this point. That's all it is. But I think I could make a pretty good I'm just drunk in an old abandoned house or something, but I'm playing it off like it's a haunted house too, like we're ghost hunting, like, like I don't think don't bring a Ouija board, you know what I mean? Don't try to open up the fucking portals, you know what I mean? But like, you know what I mean? If I can provoke a little bit, at least in the video. But yeah, I don't know, man. Hell yeah. And that's what I do too. Like even myself as like a small creator, I'll go to other small. I mean, they have to like smaller than 20K subscribers, and I'll go on their channel if they're like live, or whatever. I'll go and I'll talk, and you just kind of help to beef the chat up, say my corny jokes, whatever thought I can think of. You know what I mean? Just because every chat helps the channel. Every comment, even the bad comments, it's still another comment on your video. It's just with the algorithm and everything, it's like I don't know. YouTube is about one of the most advanced AIs on the planet. Honestly, I think like YouTube is probably more or less like a branch of the CIA, like an arm, because there's a lot of intelligence that gets passed back and forth through YouTube. So if the YouTube wasn't, if CIA wasn't behind YouTube to some extent, they missed the curve. You know what I mean? It's okay if you want to bully me a little bit too, man. Like I know I'm a homeless fuck. I'm not trying to be. It's just the way the housing market has gotten. It's just like it's fucking insane. Like I know housing is only supposed to be about 40 or 50% of your income. So if if me working a 30-hour week, I don't believe in 40. I don't have kids. For me to work a 40-hour week, I'm taking 10 hours away from the dude that does have kids. You know what I mean? The guy that needs overtime, he can't get it because I'm working a 40-hour week. And I don't even have kids. So that's why I'm like, I don't fucking need a 40-hour week. I only need like 30, like 25 to 30 is fine. I can cover my bills. I'm fine. And y'all want to overprice the housing to make it where you need 3 incomes to live indoors, then that's on y'all. You know what I mean? Eventually more people are going to turn into me, and they're going to be like, why the fuck am I paying this? Like, why am I giving away 30 years of my life? I already don't like working the job that I have. Like, I already don't like fucking being there. But now I'm going to sign up to be there or be somewhere for the next 30 fucking years. You know what I mean? To buy this overpriced fucking house that the generation before me is trying to rip me off on when they sell it to me. Because them selling it to me for double the price that they paid is how they secure their own retirement. Because they didn't fucking do enough with their time where they have their own income. They have to rip it out of the next generation. You know what I mean? It's not, you know what I mean? And granted, that's not exactly what's going on, but yeah, it's kind of, yeah. Yeah. I've seen a house that sold for $10,000 when it was built in 1930. Well, I didn't see it personally, but you know what I mean. It's like a house that was built in 1930 sold for 10K, and then in the 50s sold for 50K, and then in the 90s sold for 125K, and then now today is selling for $250,000. It's a $250,000 house that has been there for 100 years and is built out of wood and has shitty plumbing and shitty electric. You know, it's but it's a $250,000 house for some reason because the rest of the area is all priced at a $250,000. So if you want to live in this area, that's fair market value for this old fucking 100-year-old fucking piece of shit that the wind could blow hard enough and knock it over. And then, yeah, wait, it's going to cost you 30 years of your life because we've got it all kind of perfectly factored in and built into the time scale of everything. Where that's the reason it's priced where it's at. Is because it's supposed to cost you 30 years of your time. You know what I mean? I don't know. Why aren't we still shopping for houses that we can pay off in 10 years? Like back in the thing that caused all this problem is like they used to be 10 or 15-year mortgages. And you could pay off your house in about 10 or 15 years and then, start saving money for your actual retirement. But somewhere down the line, the houses got more and more expensive to the point where we started needing a 30-year mortgage. And now we're getting to the point the houses are getting so expensive that we need a 50-year fucking mortgage. And who really, really, honestly, without their parents' help, right? Without your parents kind of coaxing you and being in your ear and whipping you on the ass, and who really has their credit together where they can buy a house at 25, right? So, okay, say you do have the credit together, but do you have the 20% down at 25? No. So on a 50-year mortgage, you get lucky enough that you can actually get into the mortgage at 25. You still pay on that mortgage until you're 75 fucking years old, unless you're making double payments or, this, that, the other. You're paying an extra $100 every month, this, that, the other. But really, like, a 50-year mortgage, you ought to be making double payments, so that way, hopefully, you can pay it off in 20 still. 20, maybe 25, because you're making double payment, but you're making double payments. So it shouldn't take 25 either. It should take about, 22, 23, 24. So I don't know. You know what I mean? But we're biting off more than we can even chew. I honestly feel like the way they have the houses priced, and then for what you get most of the time, I just need a place to sleep. I don't need all this extra bullshit. I really don't. I don't need granite countertops. I don't need, whatever. That's the only thing I can really think of right now because I'm drunk. But you know what I'm saying? Like, fuck, I really just need like a 10 by 10 fucking shack. I don't need a big fucking 300 or $300,000 house that's fucking, I don't know. And that's the thing is like the housing market is so misconstrued. Because I say $300,000 house, and somebody from up north is like, "Oh, well, that's cheap," and then they come down here, and then they fuck the whole fucking place up, and then the whole state of Florida is like fucking New York upside down, because all these fucking people, like I was saying today earlier, I'm like, man, I wish Florida could just be its own fucking country, so that way we could keep the rest of the fucking country from coming here. Like, no, sorry, you need a passport to come here, and you can only come here for 30 days. Sorry, you got to get the fuck out. But imagine how great that would be, man, if your state was not even just Florida, but if your state was its own country, not part of this other fucking where all the, someone that's getting fucked over in California can come to Florida and live for half price. Someone from fucking New Jersey can come to Florida and live for half price. And then all these fucking bad attitudes from everywhere else in the fucking world coming here to Florida and then just fucking everything up. The people that fucking live here, like, I don't know, dude. It's just like, and then everywhere I go, this whole fucking city is turning into fucking Orlando. It's so fucking annoying. You're just slamming out more fucking houses everywhere, traffic lights and traffic every fucking goddamn fucking which way. The whole fucking city is just turning into fucking Orlando. And it's like, For what? Why? Just so you can make some more money on the fucking property taxes? But then when they make more money on the property taxes, they don't even fucking use it the right way. They don't even actually fucking fix the infrastructure of the county itself. You got the county making all kinds of money. These houses that are being sold for as much as they could possibly charge to people that are from out of state that come here, and they think they're getting a deal, but then they buy the house and then they jump into our job market and they see what the wages are and they're like, oh, well, that's, oh, okay. you know it's just the whole thing, man. It's like, it is just so fucking stupid, man. Oh my god. People that live here can't even fucking afford to live here, and we're still trying to find our way through this shit. And really, I'm not trying to like bash, like if you're trying, like, because me, ultimately, I want to leave this country so that my dollar can go further somewhere the fuck else. You know what I mean? Like, fuck, spending way too much money in this country. And you look around at, like, granted, not everywhere, but some of these third world countries, dude, they're smiling so big. They're the happiest motherfucker in the world because they have a job where they're fishing, instead of us where we have a job where we're just putting shit on a shelf as fast as we can, or fucking dealing with fucking Karens all fucking day, or trying to cook at the speed of sound, fucking, anytime you need support, you gotta call. I gotta call a fucking support hotline, and you call, and oh, it's somebody in India. So it's like, how come we don't have the sit down phone jobs? You know what I mean? Like, fuck, It's like, damn you! You gave them all the easy work. Expect all the Americans to move fucking rocks around for you, while our education system is fucked. And somebody from India that's like from a wealthy household, they learn at 12 what it takes us till 18 to fucking learn, and then so at 12 they've already got their high school diploma, and so they can go to college at the age of 13 instead of 18 or 19, like the people that were born here. Because we're stuck in our slow ass fucking backward ass fucking education system. So we're stuck wasting the first fucking 18 years of our life in the public education system, one way or another, and then have all these kids that are 10 years ahead of us by the time they turn 18 and the time we turn 18, but they already have a fucking bachelor's degree. We might be looking if we have a couple college courses we've done in high school. You know what I mean? It's just the fucking world. Like, it's just a global economy. You know what I mean? You can't get mad at others for doing more with their own time, honestly. But when you sell off your own citizens' freedom, I don't know. I'm not even saying it the right way. I need to drink a little bit more. I'll be honest with you. Maybe I need to pack a bowl. Kind of feel like I'm gonna puke. I shouldn't drink anymore. But honestly, I try to be real. You know what I mean? I try to just be as real as possible. There's a lot of YouTubers, and I'm sure y'all that are hanging out with me, y'all are here because of that. You know what I mean? You don't want to just watch some fake ass fucking YouTuber. At the same time, I don't know. Like, I don't know. I've always been kind of like trying to figure out what I even want to do with my life. What do I want to do? What do I want to do? And the whole time I've been like, man, it'd be nice to just fucking make videos for YouTube. It's like watching all these other people just make these fucking videos for YouTube, doing dumb shit too. Like, let's be honest. Like, granted, I like his content. I'm not trying to bash the dude, but Camping with Steve. If anybody's seen Camping with Steve, the dude literally he just glorifies being homeless. He's just stealth camping everywhere. Let's go act like I'm homeless for a couple days and then make a video. It's like, you know, it'd be fun if we went camping. Why is that fun? I don't understand. Just to detach yourself from the rest of society and say, I don't give a fuck what y'all are doing while spinning around in this, I'm gonna spin around, I'm gonna be over here on this campsite just watching the fire burn. Y'all have fun trying to figure out what you're gonna do with technology tomorrow. I got this fire and I'm just restoking the same fire. It's always been here. They just keep doing the fire. Just keep going and going more. The fire's already here. Just keep stoking the fire. People just keep trying to reinvent fire all the time. We already have fire. But I don't know. I imagine like God probably feels the same way every now and then too. He's like, I built humans. I put them here on this earth. They have everything that they need on the earth, but yet they constantly just want to try and grow wings and fly off the bitch. It's like, you have everything you need right here. What are you going to Mars for? What are you going to Mars for? You have everything you need right here. What do you need to go to Mars for? You're fucking retarded. Go to Mars. Go to Mars and build for another 1,000 years on Mars. You could fix the shit here on Earth instead. I don't know. And the only logical, I don't know, the only logical reason that there is to like really colonize Mars is if there's an asteroid coming. So if there's an asteroid coming and they're not telling us, that's even more fucked up. Because it's like you get a whole planet of fucking slaves gonna work to put the richest 1% of us onto Mars, and then the rock that we're standing on gets hit by another rock, and then the only people that survive are these wealthy people that don't know how to fucking do anything for themselves. You know what I mean? But if that's not what's happening, honestly, I think we're wasting a bunch of energy to go to Mars. Honestly, it's just energy we don't even have that we're trying to produce somehow out of the energy that the Earth makes. We're trying to make enough energy. It's like, well, you can't just sign a law into action and then print a bunch more money and it just like doubles how much energy our country has, because it doesn't really work that way. I don't know. I'm just a homeless dude that's wondering why everybody's trading their life to buy a house. You know what I mean? You only have, if reincarnation's not true, you only have this one life. So why do you want to spend it in line for 30 years like everybody else is? When we all kind of hate our jobs anyway. Like even the people that are doing what they wanted to do, they probably are working, they're probably doing something that they honestly hate doing. They hate having to make money. It's like, I'm getting to the point, it's like I don't even want to make an income. It's like, fuck, how am I gonna have to, how do I claim my income with the IRS if I technically didn't even actually make an income? You know what I mean? I'm trying to get to that point where it's like, fucking, I don't, y'all need money for some reason. I don't understand. Just a stupid homeless person ranting. But honestly, I don't think I'm stupid for like having my own view of the place that we're in, Because honestly, I don't know. I have certain. I shouldn't even get into this, but like, I have certain thoughts where it's like I've been here before. I honestly think reincarnation is true. These people that think you have only one life, you're in the wrong mindset. You're in the wrong mindset completely, because the world, the whole earth is stuck in like a 5 caste system. And so I honestly, I think reincarnate, like you are born up or down a level depending on how you lived in the life previously. And it doesn't matter because like there's still some countries they have a 5 class system, some countries they have a 3 class system. But if they have a 3 class system, it's really still a 5 class system. You just need to look at it harder, because you still are going to have, you got your low class, your middle class, and your high class citizens, right? But there still is like the ultra elite 1%ers that are above the high class citizens are not 1%ers, right? And also you have dirt class citizens, right? They're not low class. They don't even have a house. You're not even low class. You don't have a house. You're dirt class, right? So there's a 5 class system. You know what I mean? And really it gets bigger than that, because you have lower class, and then mid lower class, and then upper lower class, and then lower middle class, and then middle class, and upper middle class. You know. But honestly, I don't know, dude. I don't know. I don't know, dude. I haven't. I do, like I said, I do have certain thoughts and shit. It's just like stuck in my head. It's just like it's from a life that's not even mine, and I don't know why, but I can remember it as if it was a day. It's something I walked through in this life, but I know it's not this life, because I wasn't the same. I'm not the same person in these thoughts. You know what I mean? Like these I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. I already lost some crew trying to explain that. I already lost half the people that were watching, because they just think I'm delusional. They don't want to understand actual spirituality of the world that we live in. And that's part of the problem is today. Like I think there's a lot of people that like God is trying to have them tell a new story, or you know what I mean, or tell a story, like, because we need a new book in the Bible. We honestly, all the books in the Bible are from so long ago, they're not even worded correctly. And if they are worded correctly, are we even accurately, are we using the reading comprehension in a way that we're actually comprehending the right way? You know what I mean? Because the language has changed so fucking much. Like, we honestly, there's all kinds of people that are like, oh yeah, I can talk to God, but oh, they're a crazy person. Oh, shut them out, throw them over there. Like, but maybe they actually are. Who the fuck knows? Because it's like God is inside of all of us. It's a part of everything, like from the trees to the foxes to the deer to the birds in the sky. It's a part of everything. Like, nothing doesn't just blow up and create everything in the known universe for no reason. You know what I mean? It's something smaller than a period in this chat, wherever, if somebody even put a period, there's a period right there from feeling good, right? Something smaller than a period in this chat blew up and turned into everything we see on this planet, plus everything else that we can see beyond this planet. But something smaller than a period in this chat blew up and created all of that for no reason. Come on. There's no morality behind life. Come on, for real. Like, come on. You know what I mean? And it's like, I don't know. I'm getting way too deep. Hey, Brad, how you doing, man? But it's like every time somebody's like, oh, they can see the light, or whatever. It's just, oh no, that's a crazy person. Don't listen to them. It's like, yeah, but how do we know, dude? Because I don't know. And then heaven's, I don't know, heaven's a different picture for everybody. So I could believe, honestly, for some people, their version of heaven might be to come back to Earth and live the life that they wanted to live instead of the bullshit that they were stuck in. So I mean, what's okay? Well, then boom, reincarnation. You lived well enough in the last life that you can live, you can be one of the ones that you're born already made it. You know what I mean? Like, imagine what it would be like to be born and be Eric Trump. Like, right? Like, I think by the age of 3, you would realize that you're like insanely fucking wealthy. You just because you're 3 years old, right? Like, you would have a decent fucking understanding of the world around you. You'd be like, why do I have servants? Like, oh, because I'm rich. Huh? Like, oh, fuck, I guess I'm a rich guy. Like, wow, this is gonna be a fun ride. It's like versus if you're poor, it's like, man, I don't know, man. Hopefully I can get enough money I can go fishing this weekend or something. Yeah, it's like hopefully I got enough money I can go try to get food for free out of the river this weekend and give me enough time off the job. I can go spend some time trying to get free food out of the river. But that's Earth. Yeah. I got these bugs chilling in my car. They're like weird. Look, like one bug, man. It's a fucking praying mantis or some shit. There's a fucking or well, maybe a stick bug. But I swear it was flying. I swear it was flying before it like decided it was just gonna hang out where it's at now. Like it's just listening to me, like y'all are. It's just and bugs are fucking weird, bro. They are fucking like on an evolutionary scale, right, man? Like think of the evolutionary scale and the chimpanzee standing up and grabbing a spear and turning into a human, and then a human bowing, and a human getting on a computer, right? The whole evolutionary time chart, right? Where are mosquitoes? Show me that one. Show me where the fly is on this evolutionary chart. Because it must be back here, right? The fly must be way back there, right? Before the chimpanzee, right? The fly is way over here, right? So if you're thinking in terms of evolution, something with wings and fucking 40 eyes and extra legs and shit. Think on terms of evolution, right? So like we're fucking idiots, like really. And it's crazy. Like on Rick and Morty, not every time, but every time, like almost every time Rick leaves the planet on Rick and Morty, he fights bugs. Think about it. The intergalactic government is just a bunch of bugs. And then granted, this is a I don't know. Yeah, like you go to a church and they're talking in tongues and and it's like you start speaking like an alien or something. It's like they're like, whoa. Because like God knows and sees all languages. Well, then how about what did I say? Or even if I were just to go, hang on. Even if I was just to go, God even knows what I'm saying. Just when I go, and God knows what I'm saying. Whoa, this stick bug just. Oh my God! Get out of my car! Get the fuck out of my car! This is my spaceship. Oh my God! I might have to light this bitch on fire just to show him whose rock it is. I have fire. I will burn your fucking bug ass. I don't give a fuck. Get the fuck out of my spaceship. I'm gonna burn your ass for real. Like come on, come within 4 inches of my fucking space again. I will light your ass the fuck on fire. Sit there and act like you understand me, bitch. God fucking damn these animals. They're not even animals, they're bugs. That's what I said, man. You gotta be here for the Saturday show, dude. If you're showing up at any time in the week, it's just as an advertisement for the Saturday show. Yeah, man, these Saturday shows, man, they get wild, man. Fucking primitive motherfucker. Get the fuck out of my fucking car. Whoa. He's like, dude, this thing is getting ballsy. Holy shit. Oh my god, this thing is really getting ballsy. Like, holy fuck. It's like, I might have to kill it. Zeus, control your animal. Zeus, I swear I will kill this motherfucker if you can't control it. I'll kill it with my fucking fist. I don't give a fuck. I'll get some bug guts on my hand. I don't give a fuck. This is my fucking vehicle. Jesus fucking Christ, man. I might have to drink some more. I'm making a lot of noise. Hopefully there's another car parked here. Hopefully they're not sleeping in the car. I think they're out on the campsite. There's like 3 days. There's 3 days that I didn't reserve the campsite this month. And of course, somebody else reserved it in those 3 days that I didn't reserve it. Because they make you, I don't know, they make you wait 3 days before you can reserve it again. It's some stupid shit. If you stay here too long, you can claim squatters' rights or something. You know what I mean? So if you're here for more than 28 days consecutively, there's people that's what they do. And they're fucking squatters, you know, and so once they stayed somewhere for more than 28 days, like they have squat. I don't know. It's just fucking stupid. There's some laws that exist here in Florida that have been here like since the gold prospecting days, and when people would like leave their shack to head out west, you know, and like somebody else would find the shack, and then you just maintain the property, and then you can claim the property. I don't know what that law is called technically, but there's some law. I was watching a video. This lady was trying to claim that she owns the house now because she's been fixing up the yard. She's been fixing up the yard for the last couple months, so now she owns the house, and she got some paperwork from the court. You know, she's trying to show the police officer this paperwork from the court where she owns the house now, but the police officer is there with the realtor that's trying to sell the house. it's like technically like, well, this guy has the receipt, so this is still his, you know, he's got the 1/10 of the law that actually matters because he's got the receipt for actually purchasing it. This other lady, she's just squatting. It's crazy, man. Like, it's crazy to think about how many people, they're not homeless because they're a squatter. You know what I mean? It's crazy to think about, dude. That you'd be willing to do all that rather than just fucking face the music and just be fucking homeless. Like, you know what I mean? It's not that hard, bro. It's really not. You know, if you're homeless, food is free almost. You know what I mean? There's so many people want to feed you because you're homeless. And that's the first thing they check on. You know, like, did you eat today? You know, you want me to feed? You know, like, you want me to go? Like, I have homeless friends. You know, I'm friends. You know, people I'm friends with. They know because I'm homeless. I'm struggling right now. Like this one guy I work with. He goes to the store next door to work, and he's like, "Hey, you want anything? Like, I'll get you." You know, and the dude, I know he's making the same amount of money as I am. We're in the same fucking boat. I've got less bills than he does, and he's offering to give me some of his paycheck. You know what I mean? And it makes no fucking sense. You know what I mean? like, you know, I have only $200 a month in actual bills, but then yet you want to go to the store and spend $5 on me. Okay. Sure, yeah, give me some Skittles. It's weird. It's so weird. Like, you know what I mean? But yeah, like if you're living on the street, you can find a free meal every single day. I guarantee it. And you won't have to dig in the dumpster to do it. I guarantee. At least if you're in America, like I don't know the situation in other countries, but I guarantee if you're in America and you're somewhere that's urban enough, you're gonna find a free meal every single day. It's just a matter of looking around or asking people. So basically, yeah, half your food bill is covered because you're homeless, and then you have no mortgage to worry about. For me, like my rent is my car insurance. Right now, my rent is paid, so if the police were to show up, granted, I'm a little drunk, but I'm at a campground. Really, like I'm fucking, like I'm here for the night. You know what I mean? So I don't know. Hopefully it doesn't happen, but you know what I mean. Like that's what I tell them. Like I'm here for the night. Like I wasn't planning on going nowhere, so I got drunk. I don't have a house. Like what else am I supposed to do? But I'm at the campground. I'm not like drunk in public. I'm at the campground. I don't know. Especially the crazy part. They don't have a sign. They don't have a sign up on the trailer. Nothing like no alcoholic beverages. So you could totally do that. There's no signage that says you can't take an alcoholic beverage with you onto the trail. Nobody's probably ever thought of it. Damn, this stick bug, I might have to kill it for real. It could be an alien surveillance tool. I don't know, man. But I believe in aliens, but I believe in God at the same time because I believe God exists on a whole other time scale outside of our universe. So what's to say that God didn't get bored and create other planets, right? And then since we're all stuck in this universe. Like there's all different times because all these different times depending on the star that we revolve around. So our 1 year depends on this star that we're stuck to as we orbit around it. So as soon as you leave this star and you go to a whole nother solar system with a whole nother star, they would have a different year. Right? Just flat out. Right? So there's stuff that happened closer to where the Big Bang. So if the Big Bang is true, right? There is stuff inside of the universe that has had 10 billion more years to evolve. If the Big Bang is true, then we're only 4 billion years old, and there's stuff out there in the universe that is 14 billion years old. So that's what I say. Like I believe in God, but I believe like He created aliens as like a side project too, because he put them in charge basically because He was going to go off to do other things. You know what I mean? Like He built aliens to kind of like give mankind direction, like to be the middleman for Him, so that way he could go off to do other things. You know what I mean? I don't know. I know I'm way far out on that one, but I've been far out for like the last half hour. You know what I mean? But like, what's to say that He didn't create an intergalactic council that's already watching over this planet, waiting for us to figure out whatever technology or whatever we need to cross that lever, And in this, I don't say anything. I think they've been living with us for a while. If you had the tools and resources, would you mine Bit? Yeah, man, I've already mined Bitcoin. Like, to me, having a computer, right? I thought about it this way when I first got into Bitcoin mining. I thought about it as like, okay, so I could buy a piggy bank, right? You could buy $1,000 piggy bank that would put 25 cents into itself every day. Right? All it is, it's a piggy bank. You have to plug it into the wall. It has, it uses electric, but it's for $1,000. You can buy $1,000 piggy bank that'll add 25 cents to itself every single day. Right? Think about it. I mean, that's basically how I boiled it down in my head. I'm like, oh, cool. Like, it's better than buying like a $20 piggy bank and think I'm gonna put my own money into it. I might as well buy a $2,000 piggy bank that generates its own money somehow. It's for later. It's like a piggy bank. You know what I mean? Like, you get a piggy bank at 5, you're not supposed to open it till you're 18. You don't hit it with a hammer. You just stuff it full of money until you can't. You can't put any more fucking money in that piggy bank, and then it's okay. Let's crack it open. Let's count $500 that's in here or whatever. You know what I mean? Um, that's pretty much the way I thought. I was like, oh, cool. I'm like, I get a computer, and then the way the computers are now with the RGB lighting and the rainbow lights and all that shit, it's like having a badass fucking night light too, like the fucking most badass night light you can imagine. It's a fucking computer tower now, and then you can have it plugged in the internet and it'll make fucking money for you, acting as a bank teller basically. Like the reason you get rewarded in Bitcoin, right, is because you're acting as a teller, like a bank teller, processing transactions. Every time a transaction comes in for Bitcoin, you sit there, you verify it, and then, you get rewarded in microdecimals of a cent, because they basically exploited the decimal point, right? Like, how is the dollar? The dollar can only be divided by 100, because a penny is 1/100th of a dollar. Basically, they made a coin that was worth 1/100 millionth of a dollar, right? So they dialed back the decimal point that far, used like logarithm, the way logarithm works, and the tens, how tens and x to the power of, okay, that's basically all they did. They created a coin that was worth like the price of dust, like the price of a dust molecule. Whoa. I don't know. I'm getting a feeling like there's like a gray alien watching me from like over here. I don't know why. There might even be more than one. I don't know. I get that feeling every now and then. Like, I don't know. I'll feel it like something, like something came out. Or I don't know. Whatever. I'll get that feeling like there's something intelligent that's like over here that's watching me right now. Like, more intelligent than just like a deer. Lock your door. They ain't gonna do nothing. If it's a fucking gray alien, what's a locked door gonna do? And they fucking deatomize the earth. Fucking deatomize myself. Like, like Dr. Manhattan, like the very first thing he did was fucking deatomization. And then he goes to Japan and they're all just bowing down. just like just like Almighty America, the Almighty. And it's really just because we have water. Because we have such an abundance of water. There's the thing. It's like, like, oh man, I could use some more rum though. But here, like, dude, like, y'all know, y'all can see it, right? Y'all hear it. I'm drunk, but look, that's all I've drank. That's all. It's like I could get drunk like 2 more times off of this bottle. It's like I drink like a third of it. It's like there's still enough for next Saturday too. And I'm to the point like I want to drink some more, but I know if I drink some more, I'm gonna end up throwing it back out. So I'm just gonna keep sipping on my Mountain Dew. I got this other fruit punch. I don't know. I figured I don't know. Figured I'm trying, coconut rum and fruit punch mixed together. It wasn't bad. I took like 4 shots of the coconut rum, and then I made a little mixed drink. I had like the fruit punch, and I was just sitting there sipping on it before I started the show. I don't know. Just make sure you hit not for kids. You know what I mean? Make sure you always hit not for kids. I don't know, like you think if you hit for kids, YouTube would send it to more of a broader audience because like, a parent can watch it, if the kid can watch if you put that it's okay for kids to watch it, and then like the AI watches it for like 10 minutes before it actually produce like till it actually doesn't go to the channel until the AI watches it for like 10 minutes, like a 10-minute check. I think it's watching double speed, quadruple speed, whatever, watching it backwards, forward, everything. But the AI watches it for like 10 minutes before it posts to the channel. And then like the funny thing is like you think if you posted it and it's safe for children, you think it would allow your video to hit a broader audience. Nope. Nope. Like I've done it. Like you have a video, you say it's safe for children, and then it won't autoplay if you have like a small window and like say you want to keep the video playing, but you want to go search YouTube for something else. You know what I mean? You can't do that if you set it for a kid audience. You can't. I don't know why. I don't know why. I don't know why you can't have it continuously play if it's set for a kid audience anyway. Why is it the other way around? I don't know. And then I know me personally. I said I was 18 online before I was actually 18. You know what I mean? See, you know what I mean? Like any kid that's smart enough at 12 is already 18 when he's online. You know? I don't know, man. Yeah, keep that light on. Yeah, keep that light on. It's like any kid that's smart enough to know how to play with themselves at 12 years old, they're smart enough to fucking make a fake email where they're over 18, where they can play with themselves. But hell yeah, that new video is doing pretty good, man. I was telling Fred too. I was like, I think maybe I was telling you too, Jerry. I don't know. I don't know, Fred. Not I love Fred, man. He's honestly, between you, Jerry, and Fred, right? Y'all are my number one fans. You know what I mean? I hope I never lose y'all as fans. You know what I mean? Because y'all been there since the beginning, before I had like 50 subscribers. You know what I mean? Y'all are part of the reason I was able to even go live. You know, and then like Fred, man, he always tries to fight me on the Bitcoin thing, but I'm like, dude, come on, bro. I'm like, basically, it's like the aliens that are in charge of the planet are changing the currency, and only 2% of the world is actually wise enough to realize that that's what's happening. You know, like, and to think about, like, you watch Star Trek or Star Wars, and they have, the different currency. Somehow they still have currency in Star Wars, and it'd be a different symbol or whatever. I don't know. I was playing Star Wars Battlefront 2 on PlayStation 4, Anyway, on the Star Wars game, their currency was like a backward 7 with an equal sign through it. Like, that's what the galactic credits were or whatever. It was like a backward 7 with an equal sign through it. So I'm like, all we're doing is changing it from an S to a B, and everybody's freaking out, but really we're putting so many zeros into the mix that we need to create something that's at a larger, we can use this larger symbol so that we can take it easier on the computer. It's logarithm, dude. But like I said, I don't know, dude. I honestly, I think for sure it's going to lock in at $1 billion, and it'll just be that obvious later on. You know what I mean? It'll lock in. The volatility will disappear. It'll get to $1 billion, and then just flatten. 1 billion, no penny, no nothing. 1 billion, and then there'll still be somebody saying, "Oh, it's going to go to zero." I'm like, dude, it's not even moving. It's not even moving. How's it going to go back to zero? It's not even fucking moving anymore. It's locked in. It's locked into $1 billion a coin. The B meant billion, you fucking idiot. I don't know, it's going to go to zero. That's what I said in a comment. I'm like, it'll go to like $100 million, and there'll still be somebody saying, "Oh, it's going to go to zero." It's like, dude, it's $100 million per coin. Like, it is way too huge to go back down to zero. Like, look, like, seriously, like, use your fucking head, bro. Which technically it could. Granted, if the top 5 holders of Bitcoin were to all work together and then just milk the fucking system dry every single day for months, years, Like every day, the people that hold the top 5 wallets are gonna dump and then crash the price and then buy back in and buy a bigger chunk, right? So they have 5% and then they dump the market, and then they buy back in and they have 5.25%, and then the next day they do the same thing and dump the market, and then they have 6%, and they keep doing that every single day. They keep dumping on the market, and then they ended up with a bigger fucking amount. That's the only way it might could go to zero if the most wealthiest minds get together and decide that they're gonna milk it all the way back down to zero to get rid of it. But I don't think that's gonna be the case either. I mean, they could. They're definitely kind of setting it up in that way, but I don't think they will. You know what I mean? They'll want to make money off of it too. You know what I mean? It's for people that are in it for long term. Like, I don't know, people that want to say like, oh, there's no such thing as quick cash. It's like, it's not quick cash, bro. I still have to wait 10 years. I'm like, it's like, if I would have got in it 10 years ago, I could be done today. But since I'm only getting in it today, I might be lucky enough that I could be done in 10 years. Granted, it's not going to grow at the same rate, so it might take 20 or 30, but I still feel like it's not going to go anywhere. It's just here. It's here. Sit there and watch it get bigger your whole fucking life, or you're going to actually get involved in it, Like, because honestly, like, if we, like, dude, if we all saw it the right way, you could be putting $1 on it. $1 today can be $1,000 when the Satoshi parodies the dollar. When Satoshi, the smallest fraction of a Bitcoin, is equal to the dollar, each dollar you're putting in now will be $1,000. And then so, like, once you realize that, you'd be like, oh, well, let's just keep putting money in this machine then. Let's just keep cranking that fucking we'll just keep turning that flywheel, like a sailor's saying. Like, once you realize like what is actually going on, you're like, oh, well, fuck, let's just keep cranking this fucking crank then. Let's all everybody put your money in this thing. Let's see what happens. Everybody just don't put enough that you're afraid to lose, right? Which I'm like, fuck it. If I lose, then I'm only out 2 years of work. You know what I mean? It's 2 years, and granted, where I'm at now, like, I would just be paying for a place to live anyway. So I've made it for 7 months. That's 7 months of like, I could ultimately lose it, but I would have lost it if I would have fucking been living indoors anyway. So I mean, like, if it happens and I get set back, it's only going to be a setback. You know what I mean? There's like, the world will continue. I'll still have to make money, and they'll keep debasing the currency that I'm making at the same time. So it'll be easier and easier to make $100. You know what I mean? Like, each year, it basically gets easier to make $100 a day. Basically. You know what I mean? And on a longer time horizon, I've even seen it for myself. I'm like, oh, like, yeah. When I was 21, I used to have to, like, really bust ass to make $100. And now all I have to do is kind of, like, clock in and hang out. It's like... But the only thing is they don't give me the time where I can just, like, clock in and hang out. Like tonight was bullshit, dude. It didn't look like anybody mopped the floor all fucking week. It didn't look like anybody had fucking done backstock all fucking week. The bathrooms were okay, but the other person I was closing with, they decided they were gonna clean the bathrooms anyway. Like, really, the bathrooms, they would have been, really, you can just clean the sink because everybody washing their hands and all the oil coming off of their hand, you be able to greasy hands and shit, working in car parts. All the parts are dirty. They come off the truck dusty and shit from the warehouse, but all the parts are dirty. You know what I mean? So you go to the bathroom and you wash your hands, and then the sink gets dirtier before the rest of the bathroom does. So, like, really, you can get away with just cleaning the sink. You know what I mean? That's what I was going to do tonight. I was just going to clean the sinks and say, well, boom, the bathrooms are clean. But no, the other person I was closing with, they scrubbed each fucking bathroom for about 20 minutes apiece. Which I can respect. I've seen how much effort they put into the bathroom, and I put that much more effort into making sure the floor got done appropriately. You know what I mean? Because, like, and then it was time I saved ultimately because they did one of my chores. So I was like, well, let me put a little more ass into the floor then. You know what I mean? Let me put a little bit more shoulder into mopping tonight because I didn't have to do I didn't have to do this 20-minute bullshit. I read somewhere $100, 10 years, 15,000 or so. I don't know, dude. I think when the dollar parries with the Satoshi, right? It's weird how the Satoshi already starts with an S. So then the dollar, like, oh well, then that's why it was an S. Like what? Like like what if Benjamin Franklin himself is actually Satoshi Nakamoto, and they were that intelligent when they were building this country because the dude he literally fucking built the clock. So that that fucking 8 to 5 bullshit that all the business world is continuing to run on still today, the 8 to 5 bullshit, that was done by Benjamin Franklin. The dude literally fucking built the fucking clock. Like, you know what I mean? And like they could have been thinking that far out, because Benjamin Franklin was already thinking about World War III at the time of the American Revolution War. He was like, he's like, I don't know what they'll use to fight World War III, but I think World War IV they'll fight with sticks and stones again. What if we're using Bitcoin to fight World War III? You know? And if it turns out bad, then yeah, we'll probably go back to the point where we're fighting each other with sticks and stones again. And that's what the people that are on the gold side of things, that's what they're ultimately trying. I don't know, because like you want a gold market, you want a gold based economy. That's what we already had. That's what it was in the Dark Ages. Remember, before we put the lights on it, we were in the gold economy before we had electric. So it's the people that are like voting on gold to take back over. You're I'm not saying you're basically voting on like the same thing that the doomsday preppers are voting on, but you basically would need that to play out before gold would actually be a feasible like a feasible means of trade. Because like boom, they like say they nuclear bomb America, right? And all the people that have like the bags of silver that they're trying to like trading all these silver coins and shit that they've been collecting, because that's where it would come in useful, right? So it's like you're kind of voting for the wrong thing. I'm voting for technology to like develop further. I'm voting for computers to take over more. Which is it could be a bad thing, but I honestly think at the same time the government's gonna keep its hand in things. You know what I mean? I don't know. I honestly, Jerry, I'm the same way, dude. I wish I would have listened to like any one of my buddies in the past that were smart enough that they were into Bitcoin, and then they were trying to tell me to get into Bitcoin because they seen like what the fiat system was doing to me already. And they're like, I'm trying to save you from this shit. You don't even have to worry about it. Like you're worried about trying to make more money each year. It's like you don't even have to worry about that. You just fucking like hold on to this. Just hold on to this until it's worth something and you're good. And one guy, he popped in, he gave me a comment. He's like, dude, I've never actually understood Bitcoin until you described it the way that you did. And I'm like, really? I'm like, I don't think I really described it that well in that video. I'm like, I was basically just giving my, like, this is why I decided, this is why I'm going to this extreme, because I feel like I'm 10 years behind. You know what I mean? So rather than me being able to put maybe $1,000 a year onto this because I'm trying to, granted it was a situation with the X and everything, like it wasn't, wasn't solely because I was trying to stack Bitcoin. You know what I mean? But it was, I don't know, it's kind of, my whole thought philosophy changed, man, because like you get to a point you realize it's the dollar that's been scamming you the whole time. And it really has. It's been the dollar that's been scamming us. Like I don't know. And it's like I spent my whole life chasing this, like not necessarily that I was chasing money around my whole fucking life. I was more or less just doing my own thing, living off of whatever money I could make. You know what I mean? I wasn't really worried about how much money I was even gonna make. I was just like, okay, well, this is what they're giving me, so let's see how much fun we can have with what they're giving me. Yeah, I don't know, man. Like it'd be nice to make $1,000 a day, but if they want me to have they want me to go back to school for another 6 years to make that happen, well then okay, I'm fine. Kind of, I know, I'm like, I don't know. School was a big waste of time anyway. I mean, not necessarily, not for everybody, but from what I remember of school, I'm like, man, y'all just wasted my life. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and the shit that I'm doing at work, I could have done as a fucking preschooler. You know, it's like I'm almost like y'all just fucking wasted my life. Like I'm basically playing the matching game all day long. When a customer comes in and like, oh yeah, I've got a 2005 Chevy Silverado 1500, and I go on the computer, I move the mouse, and I go, I click on the one box that has the years, and I click on 2005, and then I click on the next box that has the models. I click on Chevy or the make, and I go to the next box, and I click on Silverado, and then I listen to what he wanted. Like, oh, you need front brake pads, okay. And I go down to brakes, and it opens up the brakes, and then I hit front, and then I go to pads, and then I hit search, and then it comes back with the pads that we have. It's like it's almost to the point. It's like, why is that even a job? Yeah, it's like it's all it is. Yeah, it's just like I tell people, it's like being a librarian because there's a couple dudes. I'm like, you'd be good in auto parts, dude, because you've got an ear. You want to learn cars, like you like cars. Like I think you'd be good. You'd be good just go get you an auto parts job and work at a fucking counter. Like it's not that hard. It's really not, dude. The money's not that good because you know it's like you know I'm like a Target cashier, but I'm not dealing with all the people that are coming in and out of Target. You know, there's a lot less of a crowd that's coming in just selling car parts. And in selling car parts, dude, you're making fucking bank, dude. Like you sell one battery, that's your sales goal for the day. You know, it's like, and you know, you're granted you're not making bank, you're helping the company make bank, but you know what I mean. You know, it's job security. You can come in and sell $2,000 worth of product. You know, versus on the other hand, like shit. You know, like, I don't know. Like basically like you're like a librarian. You know, like everything has a spot, and each car part instead of it being a book, it's a car part. You know, so like you know you have like your fiction and your nonfiction section. You know, like you have your rotor section, you have your pad section, you have your caliper section, you have your water pump section, you've got your power steering pump section, you've got your spark plug section. You know, it's all it is, man. You just go to that section and you look for the 4-digit number that you have in the back of your head real quick, and then you go find the part. If you have it physically, then you can sell it. If you don't have it physically, well, then you need to upgrade it, you know, like update the computer so that way the computer knows that you don't physically have it. Because that's the annoying part. You know, like the computer will lie to you constantly and be like, yeah, we have one. And then so a customer will come in and then, you know, they'll say, oh, online it says you had one. And it's like, uh, but you know, you really should, you know, like you know, not that I try to be a dick about it, but you could have saved gas. You could have saved gas if you would have just called, and we could have been like, well, let me go check. You know, oh, it's not here. Sorry, our computer's off. You know, because that happens. It's inventory. You know what I mean? I don't know how we lose so many parts. It's crazy, dude. It's almost like I said, it's like almost like the people are working there, stealing shit or something through the amount of parts that we're constantly missing. Oh my god, what are you doing in here still, bro? Do I have to kill you? Do I honestly have to kill you? Okay, it's okay, bye. God damn. The same praying mantis or stick bug. He's just sitting there like like I swear, he was like sitting there like I'm like, dude. I was like, no, you're dead, bro. You're freaking me the fuck out now. That's too much. Maybe he was in cahoots with them. But that's kind of what I'm thinking, man. Like, I don't know, man. Like what if the Earth was created by stellar beings because they didn't all these different civilizations from across the universe didn't know how it actually started, so they created Earth to see how it actually started. And so they're sitting here watching. They're watching because they don't know. They don't know. They created Earth to see, like, how did they get here? They ask the same question we are. How did we get here? But like, say you're in a super advanced, like, you're talking to other civilizations from other galaxies, and they don't know how we got here either. So the only thing you can do is decide between the whole council of creatures or beings, or y'all decide, well, let's recreate it so we can watch it, and like we could find out what actually happened. And it's like, I don't know. Well, you have 12 different alien species that are living on this planet with us. You know what I mean? Like, what's to say they weren't all in cahoots to move the stars around the planet to create all these different constellations? And I don't, you know what I mean? Everything. They could have created everything, because like literally they did. If they did, then they did. They created it. You can't just create an egg. It has to be laid. You know what I mean? You can't. You know what I mean? It has to be laid by something still. You can't just go to work and be making eggs. Nobody's but making eggs by working. Like, what do you do for a living? Oh, I produce eggs. What? Yeah, I produce like between 200 and 300 eggs a day. What? And I sell them for $4 a dozen. What? Like, what, chickens or something? No, I produce eggs. I don't know how. Like on American Dad, the first episode, or one of the first episodes of American Dad, Roger apparently shits gold. Like, Roger shits gold or some shit. Alien shit is gold. They got us mining it. Like, look at them. They're mining our shit. Their whole economy is just them mining our shit. But no, it's kind of weird, dude. I was thinking about, before I went live, like Nixon, right? Because I was watching my video, the Bitcoin video I just made. But I was thinking about Nixon, right? And how Nixon, he took the dollar off the gold standard. But remember, Nixon was trying to run for presidency against JFK, but he lost. He lost against JFK because the media, like with picture imagery and video, JFK looked prettier, right? And America's all about looks. You know what I mean? Like, even though the way you look the way you look from the things you've done, the actions you've done in your past, like it's all your looks. Case in point, when JFK won the presidency, kind of, sort of. Granted, I feel like he was definitely the better candidate, but and then he ends up just getting assassinated, and then Nixon's the president anyway. And then, like, one of the things Nixon does is takes the dollar off the gold standard. I don't know. And then, like, when he did that, he took the dollar off the gold standard. Inflation went crazy in the 70s. It went nuts. Things that were a nickel went to being cost. Things that were a nickel were then like $1.25 by the end of the one decade, in 10 years' time. You know what I mean? Things that were a quarter were like $5 now. It's like the same thing we're seeing. And I don't know, it's because the dollar itself is dying. And people come into my work. This guy came into my work today. He's like, man, the wages. He's like, man, they want so much money for everything nowadays. And he's like, and the wages ain't keeping up with it. And I was like, yeah, because I think it's like the dollar itself is dying, man. The dollar, like, by the time we work for it, it's like it's losing strength the whole time. The CEOs of these companies that are charging $90 for a piece of plastic, and since it's plastic, it was made with oil too, so it was basically made from free, you know, because I'm pretty sure it's the oil company that runs the auto parts stores too. You know what I mean? They go hand in hand. Um, but yeah, dude, it's some bullshit, dude. How much of everything is like intertwined with each other, but it's a global market. You know what I mean? Like we've got fair trade coffee at least. Like I don't know. That's why I'm in favor of Bitcoin, and I honestly I wish globally our currency, national currencies, were worth about we're equal, a little bit more equal to each other, so that way you don't just get screwed for your time because you're born in another country. You know what I mean? Because like honestly, like it's fucked up, dude. Why, like, because I'm bitching about how much money I make, right? Like, or how hard everything is, and financially everything is terrible, and da 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 da, right? But still, like, I'm going to work, and on days that I do go and clock in at the actual job, I'm making what somebody else in another country probably makes in a whole week, right? But still, shit is that tough. But shit is that tough still that I'm making a week's salary in a day. Yeah, it's fucked up, dude. That's what I'm saying. But we need more of like a universal based income where that doesn't happen to begin with. Like if you're a dishwasher, you're gonna make the same whether you're in India or whether you're in Japan or whether you're in Ireland or whether you're in Peru, or you're gonna make what a dishwasher makes global. You know what I mean? Like, individually, like each currency might not stack up to the same, but you know what I mean. I honestly, I think it'd be a good idea. I don't, you know what I mean? It's like, you got engineers in Cuba making $300 a month, and you went to school to be an engineer. You know what an engineer knows, and you're making $300 a month in USD. But you don't realize it because you're making your own. You're making your own country's currency, so you don't realize that it's only like $200 or $300. You know what I mean? I don't know, dude. It's just fucked up, man. I appreciate you stopping in, Jerry. I knew you would at some point, man. I feel like you got the bell notification on definitely or something, because every time I go live, you're here. Like not every single time. You know what I mean? If I go live at like 3 a.m., you're not gonna pop in. But if I'm live at a decent time of day, Jerry always pops in. So I feel like you definitely have the bell notification on or something, because you must be getting notifications on your phone hard screen or something. I don't know for sure. I'm not saying, the other guy that's watching, I'm not saying you need to turn on your bell notifications. You know what I mean? I'm not saying, like, honestly, I don't have, like, I've got a bunch of shit I'm subscribed to. Like, as a small creator, I'm helping out as many other fucking, you know what I mean? Like, if we were all creators and we all just woke up every day and just subscribe to as many people as possible, like, we make it our job to subscribe to new people, and then we're all creators, and we're all creators too, right? So you're like helping every other creator, and still, like, as long as you're creating yourself, and then you all just watch each other's videos, and somehow it makes money. But it doesn't make enough money. You know what I mean? You still gotta like work and shit too. But somehow you can, it's like a side gig somehow. But right now I'm getting subscribers crazy. Like this last video, man, I might get 100 subscribers off of that video. I've gotten like 26 I've got more subscribers off of that video than anything else I've ever made. And I didn't even put that much into it. I was just ranting about Bitcoin for about 24 minutes. I was really trying to make it shorter. Like when I'm sitting there, I'm talking, and I'm like, oh man, I'm already at 17 minutes. I should try to wrap it up. And I tried to wrap it up, and it still went to like fucking 24 minutes long. I was like, I remember thinking that when I was talking about it. I'm like, I hit the timer. I'm like, oh, I'm at 17 in 30 seconds. I'm like, okay, let's try to wrap it up now, guy. I was like, you got it. Okay, we got it. It's good. Just close it off now. And it took me another fucking 7 minutes to like honestly, I could have made that video better. I could have fixed my hair better, could have, cleaned up my shave a little bit better. But like I knew when I recorded it after like watching the recording of it, I was like, dude, this video is gonna hit 1,000 views. I told Fred that too. I was like, this video is gonna hit 1,000 views, Fred. I'm like, I know you don't like Bitcoin, but I'm like, this video is gonna be a banger. I think you might have been in a live stream at the same time when I was telling him that, Jerry. But I was like, dude, this video is gonna hit. I don't know what it is about it, but there's something about it from like me exploring YouTube as much as I have. I'm like, how big my channel is at this point. It's still not that big, you know what I mean? But it's my first video that has made over 1,000 views, and I knew it. I knew it before I posted it. You know what I mean? I knew that the algorithm, because I didn't cuss in it. I didn't cuss in it a bunch either. If I did, it wasn't like 20 times. So I knew the algorithm itself, the AI that was watching it, was gonna put it out to people. You know what I mean? I just all I had to do was tag it right. So I put, because I heard watching from other, like I explored on YouTube and stuff, like you don't want to over tag your video. That's the one thing that'll hurt. If you put like all these hashtag this, hashtag that, hashtag, and you have like fucking 50 hashtags and different shit, the algorithm does not like that. You want to aim for about 3 or 4, right? And if you break that 3 or 4, then you want to have less than 6, right? And I don't know why, but it's kind of just part of it. You know what I mean? Just yeah. So like if you're tagging a video, you will put like the top 3 topics that are hitting that video, and that's it. If you're over tagging it, the algorithm, it knows that you're trying, and it fights you on it. You know what I mean? Instead of you getting so you get a lot of viewers from YouTube recommendations, like where people for the first time they're seeing it, the first time they're even seeing me is in that video where they just see Bitcoin and chill, and that's their very very first impression of me is that video. But yeah, it's like it's doing pretty good, man. I'm surprised, like, but I called it too, like, you know what I mean? I don't know, you know what I mean? I don't know. I got that level of expertise where I was like, boom, I finally did it. This is gonna be the video that does it. Because I've been trying to make a video that makes 1,000 views. Honestly, I've been not just trying to produce bullshit. I know some of the videos are, you know what I mean? Because I got to the point where I was like, I gotta produce, gotta put something, So I'm like, let me just slow down and let me like actually make let me make an episode. I don't have to put something out every single day, just for the algorithm to finally, I was like, I'll just wait, like I'll just make better videos. I still wanted to post more than like 1 video a week, so that that way the algorithm would have more of a, fork, like a forking effect. You know what I mean? You had 2 videos, then you're only forking once. But if you have 4 videos, then you're forking, yeah, you know what I mean. But at the same time, I'm not trying to put like 40 videos out there in a week where it's just a bunch of short bullshit, or I don't, you know what I mean? And then y'all are just getting oversaturated with, shit. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about already. Brad, you're probably already starting to get it. But it's just, people are better in small doses. Oh, what's up, T Honda? Yeah, that's why I gotta, at least at this point, it helps the smaller channels to do the lives. You know what I mean? Because like you can make long format videos, like you enjoy making long format videos, but YouTube it doesn't like to, you know what I mean? It takes a while before you can really bust through the algorithm where you get to the point where it's actually recommend. You know what I mean? You've been listening to some of this. It seems like. But yeah, like I knew my channel had grown to the point where I'm like if I produce, I make something on a good topic, I don't overproduce it. I make sure it's a real candid video. You know what I mean? And nowadays people like videos where it's somebody's in a car. Somebody's in a car, it's gonna hit hard. It's gonna be real shit. Like they don't have to be living in their car, but I know it from other videos. Even I'll watch something and I'm like, oh, the dude's in his car. Dude's renting his car. Dude's renting his car. What's he gonna say? But yeah, man, I appreciate you hanging out long enough. That's the hard part. Like doing this, you get people for like 4 seconds. And they boop. You get swiped on faster than Tinder. You know, but I appreciate you hanging out. Hanging in there, listening to me for the 30 seconds or whatever, and be like, yeah, this dude's a real guy. I'll go ahead and I'll help him because that's all it is, man. It's not even like I say, you don't even have to watch the videos, man. Just subscribe. It's free, man. I'm homeless, trying to do what I can. But I feel like at the same time, my videos are gonna get better over time. You know what I mean? There's already a level of photography that I seem to have. You know what I mean? It's guerrilla style, but I bet the people that are watching, they're watching because of that. You know what I mean? They like that it's cheesy and low ball, and you know, because I ain't about to watch Mr. Beast shit, or for lack of a better name, like whoever, somebody that's got like a fucking couple of different $1 million producers that they pay, and a manager and fucking marketing team and shit. Like I don't even want to get involved in it to the point where I have all that. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? I would rather just have like 15K subscribers, and I'm just doing my thing. Whatever. I don't need 100 to 200K subscribe. You know what I mean? Because I bet even Ian, like the 7-Eleven guy, right? The guy that got real big in the last 2 years or whatever. I bet he's got a manager now. I bet he does. I bet he still edits his own videos because he probably saves the money there. You know what I mean? Because I bet a video editor for his level of subscribers, they probably want some money. You know what I mean? Because you're gonna hit a wide audience and shit. And if they're not, I don't know. You think that, you know what I mean? I bet he does produce his own videos to save some money, but I bet he does have like a manager to some extent that tells him what videos to make, what time, and created like a life path for him to go, so that way he could, he can make these videos. I don't, you know what I mean? Maybe not that far, but you know what I mean? But, yeah. When I was really little, I had an Indian fortune teller tell me my life story. And it's crazy how much it's playing out to exactly what he was saying at the time. But I'm hoping it does play out, because ultimately, man, he got to the end. He's like, when you get to the end, man, he's like, you'll get through it all, and then you come out of it on the other side, and you have 3 women in chains. You get 3 different wives. But I only want 2, man. I'm not gonna, I don't want 3 would be too much. Even 2 would be, it's kind of a headache. I think it sounds like. But if you're that one dude, that's got 2 wives, right? Like you go to a Walmart, or go to a Meijer, go to a Kroger, go to a Publix, go to wherever where some dude's being pulled by his wife to go grocery shopping, but you're the dude that's walking around Publix with 2 wives. Just like a G, like straight up a ring on both motherfucking ring fingers. It's crazy, man. You see like 98% of all fucking males, man. Well, 98% of straight males, or probably more. They settle for one wife. I don't know why they settle for one wife. Because I mean, if you're decent enough, like say you're say you're an extraordinary man, like say you're Michael Jordan, fucking Michael Jordan, he could have 2 wives at once. Fuck if he couldn't. Fuck he couldn't find 2 women that'd be willing to work with each other so that they could have Michael Jordan as a fucking husband. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I'm saying? Because he's just that G. He's fucking Michael Jordan, right? But 98% of men, they ain't ever gonna be that G where they can actually pull that off. And I might not either. I might have to do one wife for 10 years and another wife for 10 years. And then, you zoom out, you had two wives, basically what my grandfather did, basically same thing my mom did, basically same thing my stepdad did, it was fucking, I had three wives, but I had one for 10 years and I had another one for 10 years and I had the last one for 25 years. You know? Three wives, but they were all just at different times. Like, but if you were a real G, why didn't you just, you knew these two women were going to be your wife. Like, why didn't you just you have a household with three incomes, and then you can beat the system, But like, wouldn't it be nice, man? You just have like two wives, right? Two wives, and then the cost of daycare and everything nowadays, childcare and shit. You just be the stay-at-home dad. just be a stay-at-home dad. Be super dad for the kids, make them lunch. If I could take them out in the yard, watch them fall down. I could push them over. Whatever. Be a dad. Crack some dad jokes. Just be a stay-at-home dad. And just and you don't have to worry about the child care because basically if you have a two-income household, one of them is paying basically for all the child care. You know what I mean? Until they get to the point where they're like, okay, you're 13, you don't need to go to daycare. I think it was like me, I think it was about 11, maybe 12. They were like, yeah, you can, you know what I mean? No, we trust you not to burn the house down in the 2 hours between getting off the bus and us getting home from work. You know what I mean? But I want to say I was at least 11 because I remember being 11 at the like a rec center. I used to go for like summer vacation or whatever. My dad, because he still worked an 8-hour day and shit. Like he didn't get summer off, so he paid the county. It was a deal at the time. You could pay the county. It was $1 a day for the child care, and then he would just drop me off at the county rec center, and there'd be a bunch of kids. You know what I mean? It was like a daycare center, like anything else. But it was a public park too, so there wasn't certain things. I don't know. But yeah, it was cool. I loved it, man. Wish I could remember more of it. I'd tell you all more about it. I do remember meeting my absolute very best friend there, and then like he hated me at first, dude. He's like, stay the fuck away from me. He's like, I don't fucking like you. Leave me alone. Like he hated me at that fucking summer camp thing, right? But I just loved him. I don't know, something about him. I'm like, dude, you're my guy, man. I like you. I'm like, not like I was gay, maybe a little bit, but not like really gay. Just a bromance thing. Like I knew. I'm like, dude. I'm like, you've got to get, you got to get, like you got to get through, you got to get through that level, like once you get through that, and you start to like really know me, you're gonna love me. But like everybody hates me at first. I'm like, I'm like, dude, just like, And then it turns out we actually lived like within a half mile of each other our whole life, right? We didn't even meet each other until we went to this rec center when I was 11. I think he was 12, about a year older than me. Um, but yeah, man, we lived like within a half mile of each other our whole fucking life. And he hated me at the rec center, right? He hated me all that summer camp, the whole summer camp, right? And then for like 8th grade, I moved schools and shit. And I'm coming to my first day at the school, and as I'm walking, I'm leaving school, and then there he is. He's like 15 feet in front of me, walking the same direction home, and I'm like, yo, and he's like, oh my fucking god. He's like, you live around here too? It's like, oh my fucking god. It's like, you're so annoying. Leave me alone. And like I followed him home, like not. I was talking to him the whole way. You know what I mean? Trying to talk to him and being my friend and shit. And when I get to his house, and then he basically just closed the door on my face and whatever. Um, when I left his house, I went down the street, and there was a couple of kids that were skateboarding at the middle school. Like, granted, I was an 8th grader, and there was a couple of high school kids that were down at the middle school skateboarding and shit. So I went over and I was trying to talk to him, hang out with him, whatever, introduce myself, see who they were. Um, But yeah, there was a buddy that I had just met in lunch. Like the very first. I don't know. I might be getting the story misconstrued here a little bit, but I remember seeing the kid that I had just ate lunch with. Like there was another buddy that introduced me to him, and like he was sitting at the wrong table at lunch. Like we still had assigned seating, even though we're in eighth grade. Like each class, like say, whatever class to whatever teacher's class, you had these two tables your class was supposed to sit at. But anyway, this kid, he came over and he was sitting, with our class at our table because this other kid had invited him, and he introduces me to him, and then I like ran into that kid after school, like he was there, skateboarding with his older brother and shit. Um, but yeah, I don't know. I made friends with him somehow, and then I made friends with his older brother. Like the two, I had two friends, and then I took them over to the other dude's house that hated me. Right? So it's like I show up, and I'm like, hey, we're here to play Halo with you, And he's like, dude, what the fuck? He's like, why did you just show up with two other random ass dudes at my? He's like, I was like, y'all need to meet though. I'm like, y'all need to meet. I'm like, it's like one of the things. It's like, I don't know. But I get them to talk, and then they're like, he's like, yeah, they're talking about me. Like, he's kind of a weird guy. He's cool, It's like he did introduce us, It's like, I don't know, but just like, yeah, I don't know. That is, I don't know. That's basically the story how I met my my two or my three closest friends. But yeah, that's about it, man. I didn't want to use any of their names. One of them might be, I don't know. One of them might be watching for all I know. Um, but yeah, I could probably, I don't know. I shouldn't even use his name. But one buddy, he's already dead. I got a call from the other friend, and like I was like 25, maybe not even 25. I get a call, and he's like, "Hey, he's gone." Yeah. Yeah, yeah, I'm fine. Just it's like one of the buddies, man. You think about them 5 years later after they're gone. They're such a good buddy that you just can't help but shed a tear. I'm sorry, guys. But yeah, I don't know. Pretty much, I had an uncle. He told me, he's like, hey, he's like, I'm gonna tell you something. He's like, you're 12 now. I'm gonna tell you something that's crazy. He's like, he said, you'll have 5 friends. You'll have five actual friends in your life. And other than that, everybody else will be against you, kind of, sort of, to some extent. He's like, you'll have 5 men in your life that'll be on your side, that want to help you. And he said, but before you're 21, either you or one of those 5 men will die. And sure enough, man, I lost a buddy. I was like 19 at the time. I think he died at 19 too. Yeah, he was definitely 19 when he got killed. He was hit by a drunk driver. He was doing interstate construction overnight. Just trying to make some money. At the time, doing overnight interstate construction was making like $12 an hour, which was fucking really good money. Like fucking $12 an hour when minimum wage was like $5.25. Yeah, he was working 7 days a week from 7 p.m. till 7 a.m. or something like that for $12 an hour. And he got hit by a drunk driver. The weirdest part is too, man. He was telling me like a month before. He's like, "Hey, I just bought my plot." He's like, "I bought my plot in the graveyard." He's like, "I bought my plot and I bought my headstone." He's like, "I bought my casket. I paid it all off." And it died like a month later. No, it's fine, man. It's just life, man. I'm trying to change the subject, but I'm also trying to remember it at the same time. You know what I mean? Just out of respect. And y'all seem interested, like you wanted to hear the whole story out, so I figured I'd tell y'all. That's what I say, man. You got to be here for the Saturday shows, man. Not that the other lives aren't good, but they're mainly, I'm gonna make them more like an advertisement for the Saturday show. Like, hey, I'm live Monday at 2 o'clock. Make sure you show up Saturday. But yeah, man, they were both good bros, man. I lost the one buddy, like I said, at like 19, and I lost the other buddy at like 25. And then these are dudes I thought, like in my 40s, I'd be able to call them and be like, hey, I need work. They're like, all right, man, yeah, I can put you up on my couch for 2 weeks, man, and then I can get you in. Like, I might get you in over here. I used to work there. Maybe I can get you in, and you live on my couch for like a month or so, and then, but yeah, after that you gotta go because I got kids and I got the wife, and but you're still my friend. I do want to help you out. But they're gone. Yeah, man. But I plan on, if I do get to have a kid, if it's a boy, I'm gonna name him after both of my friends that died. if the woman that's actually birthing the kid allows me, because she, ultimately she's the one that's birthing the kid. It's ultimately her right what she gets to name it. I'm just lucky enough to have the last name. You know what I mean? But if she allows me to, if we discussed it and everything, and that's what I plan on naming my first son after both of my friends that have died. Like, first and middle name. You know what I mean? I don't even know if the system doesn't want me to have a kid. I feel like the more I try to fight the system to try to have a kid, the harder life gets on me. You know what I mean? If I just say fuck it, then it's like, oh, okay, all right, we're gonna do the cruise control chilling thing. All right, we'll just do the cruising and chill. You know, we'll just put it in cruise control, and then we'll just set ourselves to chilling, and then we'll just wait till we get there. You know, like, I gotta steer a little bit still because I don't have a Tesla. It's like, that's about it, man. But that's what I'm saying, man. It's like, thank God for Bitcoin, man, because if Bitcoin wasn't a part of the world right now, there's like there'd be no fucking way out of this shit. Like, I mean, granted, maybe yeah, ultimately you probably just go to school for something, but like I'm trying to like, I don't know, dude. If it's something I want to actually go to school for, not just because I'm going to school because I want to make more money. You want to make more money, right? Go to school, learn to be a plumber. You can make more money. Don't you want to make more money? It's like, no, I really don't even want to make money to begin with. It's like y'all just been giving it to the women for the last fucking 50, 60 years. Like, and all the women are like, what happened to the guys with money? Where's all the guys with the money? It's like, cause with fucking, they gave it to y'all. Y'all were bitching, y'all wanted the money, so we gave it to y'all. This live, I won't be able to post this live as a video on the page now. Did y'all say y'all wanted money? We had to take half of the world's global funds and then give it to y'all, and then also start creating jobs that y'all could even be actually able to do. And like today, man, it's sad, man. The majority of them that just end up on fucking OnlyFans or a waitress somewhere or a fucking nurse anyway, or just a stay-at-home wife, like, it's so funny. The majority of them that, like, if you give them that option, like, oh, I might could make enough money where you could just stay home, and they're like, okay, that sounds good. How many times a week do you need your dick sucked? Well, shit, I can't. A couple of relationships for me, that's what it came down to. And I'm like, what do you mean you're only gonna suck it once a month? Ah, the next. Fuck out of here. It's like, fuck, you want me to come home with a paycheck every week, right? Well, then you're gonna have to suck my dick every week. Like, that's just fair. You get to stay at home. I'm the one that's got to go out there. Oh, shit. What the fuck? There's some RV pulling in here and shit. Like, there's a whole ass fucking RV pulling in here. This is crazy. Like, what the fuck? I might have to hide the alcohol. something, man. But like, I don't know. I feel like I made a good point when in the video when I was like, if you put $20 on Fortnite, but you ain't gonna put $20 on Bitcoin, I don't know what the fuck you're doing with your life. But really, like, the idea is, man, if everybody would just wise up, like, because it's gonna happen eventually. It's just gonna get bigger and bigger and bigger until it takes over more and more and more, and it's. But if everybody were to wise up to it, like tomorrow, and buy 1% of one coin, there wouldn't be enough. Like, say even half of the world's population were to want to buy 1% of one coin tomorrow, there would not be enough. And then they would the few of us that were lucky enough that we did receive our 1% of one coin, we would have then created a number that was so huge, like the price per coin, that we would all have 1% of, that there would be no reason to go to war. You know what I mean? Like, if everybody's all of a sudden a millionaire, like, oh, well, then I'm fine. Like, it looks like I got enough rice for the next 40 years. I'll see y'all later. I'd still be making videos. But yeah, again, like I said, there wouldn't be enough supply where everybody would even get their 1%. So I mean, half of the people would probably end up getting screwed out of it still. But that's just the thing. It's like a first come first serve market, I just only can imagine, like, if Bitcoin actually ends up being around for like 1,000 years, and the people 10 generations from now, like, trying to work to make Bitcoin off people that are not giving it away, like, straight up, like, they're making you think that you're working for Bitcoin, and then they pay you something else or something. You know what I mean? Make you think that you're working for Bitcoin, and then try to pay you in gold because they got all this gold that they've been holding on to, and it's a lot of liability to hold on to and carry in custody. And they'd rather just get rid of their gold for this weightless gold. I don't know. This fucking giant ass fucking RV decided to park here. Maybe it's Jerry. I don't think it's Jerry though. Maybe it is Jerry. He hasn't said nothing for a minute. Jerry? Jerry, is that you? But I'm waiting. I think that's eventually going to happen. Like, because I'm thinking about live streaming myself, like, for the entire day while I'm doing the Uber driving. I've seen a couple other people do it, and like, that's basically what I'm doing anyway. I'm not living it. I'm just making little clips and then making like a montage video. But I'm like, I could still make the montage video and then just live stream the whole fucking day. Whoever wants to pop in and hang out for however long. But yeah, there's a couple other people that are doing it, and they've been doing it for so long. They get like 100 fucking live concurrent viewers just watching them drive around all day. And then there's a little bit more to my channel too. I'm trying to, you know what I mean. I'm trying to have like there's a little bit more going on my channel than just Uber driving. You know what I mean? There's some people check out, just trying to see what life is like for a homeless man in Florida. You know. But at the same time, it's just like, once you get to know me, and you're like, oh, it's a dude actually trying to do something too. It's not just like a homeless bum living in a lean-to fishing and panhandling in between. But if I could, man, I hear that you can, like, if you go out to the Ocala National Forest, you could just build a lean-to and live in it. But I don't know. That's just my dad talking, and that probably something from like 20, 30 years ago. Because you'd think that there would be more people doing it. But it's probably for like a short time or something. Like, I don't know. Like, they offer primitive camping in the Ocala National Forest, but I think it's like for up to 28 days or something, probably. Like, you couldn't actually, like, homestead a quarter acre. Like, it's a mile square. You could try to see how it goes. Who knows? What are you talking about, Eric? You could try to see how it goes. Who knows? You're talking about the live stream in the Uber? Yeah, I'm gonna do it either way because I like being live. Like, I was at work tonight, like waiting to go live. I'm like, yeah, I can't wait to get the fuck out of here, go live. And it's cool because like I don't even see this as work. You know what I mean? Which is that's the way it should be though. You know what I mean? Like, it's not. It shouldn't be work to make YouTube videos. If it gets to the point it's work to make YouTube videos, well then you're not in it. You're not in it the right way. You know what I mean? You got to be in it for the love of the game in the first place. If you end up making money off of it, well then that's just a bonus. But you know what I mean? You just love making the videos. You know what I mean? I don't know. That's what I watched. Like this other lady. I found her when she was about 950 out of her 1,000 subscribers. You know what I mean? And she's up to like 1,500 now. But she's changed so much between the 950 and the 1.5K, right? She's got merchandise. She's got, all kinds of, she's doing members only, like members only shit. And then, she's only got like fucking 4 or 5 members or, well, maybe a little more than that. But like, you're gonna go members only, make a members only live stream, and it's like for the one person that's a member. Yeah, it's a real active live stream. I want to be a part of that. But I don't know. There's something about the way she's doing it. It's just like it's too money grubby. I'm like, what? Why are you doing all that? Like fuck. Just respect how big your channel's gotten. Like fucking merchandise. You only have 1,000 subscribers. Like, come on. Like for a while, I was trying to like make a couple of catchphrases. You know what I mean? There's probably a couple of them that like when I'm like, please subscribe, man, help me out. Just like the shirt. Please subscribe, man. Apparently, like I asked YouTube after like one of the videos I made, I asked the AI, because you could ask it questions. I'm like, okay, if there was some catchphrases, what were the catchphrases? And they said the YouTube smash that like button. Apparently, I said that a couple of times, and then I was saying, you know what I mean. But yeah, you know what I mean. And then please subscribe, man. I was like, that's fucking hilarious. But yeah, I might do another car tour video, like a tour of my apartment. It's my car. Like, cause I did that a couple months ago, and it didn't hit. I think it's got like 18 views. But I feel like if I made it now, it might pop a little bit more. So I don't know. We'll have to find out. I definitely feel like I need to move though. I don't know where to go from here though. probably could just go all the way up to that neighborhood. That's a long fucking ride. That's a lot of gas from here to there. I normally try to get an Uber order that's going to take me about halfway or something. You know what I mean? Make $8 to do the trip. But I probably could log into Uber, wait long enough. It's still kind of early for Saturday. Wait, what? Oh, that's so badass. This other channel I watch, he gifted me a membership to his channel. And I was like, tell him like I would buy, I'd help you out, but I don't, I'm homeless. I'm like, I can't send you a super chat. He's like, he's all the time like, oh, that's okay, man. He's like, I get it, dude. But yeah, I just got a notification. He sent me a membership to his channel. But yeah, he's like pretty much he's one of the like it was crazy. I was thinking about I'm like, yeah, maybe I should just live stream my entire day of Uber driving. And then like I think about that, right? And then like the next day YouTube's putting these videos in front of me. It's like other people that are already doing it. I'm like, oh my God. Like I figured they were, you know what I mean? But yeah, as I looked into it a little bit more, I'm like, oh man. But if I'm the one guy, he's like the first guy to do it, you know. So I don't know. I support him a little bit because he's the OG. You know what I mean? But yeah, he's daily driving 582, and he's a pretty cool dude. He's a father. He's got 4 kids. One of them's an adult, but he's still got 3 of them that he drives for DoorDash to, he live streams himself driving for DoorDash, and that's how he covers his bills for his family. But yeah, like if you factor in everything, because he goes until he makes 200 a day, right? And in his area, he can make 200. It's a long day, like a 14-hour day, but he can make 200 a day just doing DoorDash. Um, then he's live streaming the whole time too, so he's just hanging out with his viewers. You know what I mean? In between. But yeah, he's a cool guy. I mean, if y'all like my channel, you know what I mean, you would probably like his live streams, I bet. And he does try to interact with his viewers a lot. You know what I mean? Like if he reads your name for the first time, he'll listen to you like really well. You know what I mean? He's got a lot of members and mods and stuff. So if you're not green or blue, it's kind of hard to get his attention. But he will. He doesn't just you know what I mean. As big as his stream is with 100 viewers, he'll stop and read. You know what I mean? I don't know. He's still modest about it. You know what I mean? That's what I liked about him. Versus the other lady, I'm like, come on, like, why are you making coffee mugs and sweaters and T-shirts? And, I'm like, come on, lady. I'm like, but the other guy, he's got an eBay. Like he resells things on eBay. You know, and even like, granted, like, but he's not doing merch. He's not making merchandise of daily driving. I don't know. It's like I'm like, man, you're going too far, lady. With only 1,000 subscribers, like, come on, But granted, she's probably got 100 people that are gonna be willing to buy her sweater and wear it. But that's the worst part, man. You're just like you're preying on like that side of humanity too much. You're like you I don't know. That depends on what kind of audience that show up in the channel. I guess I had no idea. I'll stop. She's a good lady overall. I just think she's trying to monetize everything about her channel way too much. I don't know, because I wouldn't do merchandise unless I had like 100K subscribers, and then even still, I don't want to do like the 30-second cutaway ad where, hey, by the way, go ahead and check this out. You do a payment $19.45 a month, and in the middle of my fucking video and everything, and then on top of that, there's a YouTube ad, so there's this ad I put in the middle of my 30-minute video, and then YouTube gives you an ad, shit like that. I'm not trying to do that at all. Like that's just fucked up. I don't know. But at that point, if I'm getting to that point where, You know, I'd be like, well, I'll make a couple T-shirts and I'll sell some T-shirts with some funny phrases on them. You know what I mean? Versus doing that. You know what I mean? Because I think ultimately I'd be better. I think the fans, you know, honestly, I think y'all would be hipper to that too. If I do get to that point where I'm that big, you know, like yeah, he didn't do the sponsorship. He just made merchandise. You know, I don't know. But if I get sponsored by like something I can actually support, like you know what I mean, like if Dogecoin wanted to sponsor me, or you know, or Mountain Dew, you know, something I buy every day, wanted to sponsor me, so I don't have to make a daily buy. That's money I'm saving. You're gonna pay me $200 a month to drink Mountain Dew? Okay. You know, like I'm basically spending $200 a month to drink Mountain Dew anyway. I don't know, man. But yeah, I do feel like I need to move. I need to get out of this spot. Man, I cannot believe this RV showing up after fucking midnight. There's so many other places to camp in this fucking city. If you have a whole fucking RV. Monero. Yeah, I looked into Monero a little bit. I was doing mining on unminable. And I knew it like when I was mining on unminable, I was technically mining in Monero, and then the Monero would convert to whatever currency I was actually trying to mine, and then I would get paid out, you know, like at the currency exchange and all that too. Um, that's where I first got into mining was from unminable.org, I think .org, unminable.org. Um, yeah, I don't know. But yeah, it's like the easiest website to get on and figure out how to mine from the first, you know, like if you're first figuring out what you're doing, and you know you're not going to make a lot because like unminable is like the biggest pull in the planet, you know. But there's coins on there. They're so small, you know. Like I don't know. If you have a regular computer, it'll take you months to get to the payout, and then when you get to the payout, it's only like $5. You know, spend months trying to get to this $5 point. I don't know. But yeah, I don't. I think a Bitcoin. I don't know. Like I think Bitcoin's the way to go because it created the blockchain technology that all the rest of them run off of anyway. Um, I don't know. Like I do want to branch out a little bit because I don't want to sell my Bitcoin. Like I would much rather sell my Solana later on than have to worry about selling my Bitcoin at all later on. You know what I mean? Or you know, like I do want to get like 1,000 XRP. I feel like before it goes back over $2 would be a good investment. Um, you know, like especially where it's at now. Like if the faster I could get 1,000 RP would be smarter because it could definitely they could definitely add $1 back onto it. You know what I mean? It could easily go back up to 3. A lot of the experts are predicting it going all the way to 10. You know, and you get it for $1.30 a piece right now. Well, $1.45 maybe. The market's doing a little bit better. Yeah, everybody says that they're gonna be the next Bitcoin. Bitcoin already is Bitcoin. There doesn't need to be a next Bitcoin. Like I won't argue that. You know what I mean? Like everybody's own crypto. You know, like whatever crypto you follow, it's kind of like a religion to some point. You get to a point. It's like you know, I don't know. Not that it's really like a religion, Bitcoin itself, but you know what I mean. You got to really believe in it. The thing that gets me about Bitcoin is when the chain analysis color codes all the coins and how they're mapping out the public blockchain, and then it turns to a surveillance network. Well, that's the whole point of it anyway, dude. Like, I think it'd be better though than the current situation where we have all this paper money going around, and it's you can't track the paper money. So you have people that are drug dealers that turn into real estate investors, and then they get too far. They get so far into real estate that they no longer have to be drug dealers. You know what I mean. And then I mean that's that we're kind of stuck in that now anyway. You know what I mean. But at least with with more, because granted, I'm saying, listen, like in a world where marijuana is legal globally, you know what I mean? So yeah, if you're buying crack, then yeah, well, then is it really a bad thing that they have a surveillance on the money? You know what I mean? Like if they're watching you spend your money on crack, because you're dumb enough that you're spending your money on crack, and even though marijuana is legal globally, like it's just it's like then it's like, okay, well then you did it to yourself. Um, but I think it's gonna happen either way. You know what I mean? Like we can only fight it so much, but they're eventually the currency's already digital. You know what I mean? Like we tap with our phone and our card and shit. Like there's just a plastic card company in the middle for some reason, but our currency's already digital. It's been digital since like the 70s. Like, you know what I mean? I don't know why people want to fight on that. Like people love paying things electronically. You know what I mean? And just a world where the currency itself is electronic, but rather than being paper based. You know what I mean? Like whatever direction it actually ends up going, I don't think Bitcoin is going to be the global reserve currency because of the fact that we can't add any more to it. You know what I mean? I think it's going to be a collector piece, but it'll still have a value because there's only X a million of them. You know what I mean? It's this finite collector's item, but then they'll still be like this other currency is the global currency. But then you could trade your Bitcoin to get however much of however much of that whatever the global currency is, whatever it actually becomes. But I think it's going to end up being Dogecoin too, because they both exist on the proof of work protocol, where base 10 mathematics kind of collides with science, and where it all collides into economics. And base 10 mathematics you can't get away from. We've been under it since ancient Egypt. You know what I mean? And then you're putting a computer into the mix and then connecting all these computers to each other. You know what I mean? So you don't really have to worry about mankind's inaccuracy with counting because you have, exabillions of computers all counting. You know what I mean? So I don't know. And honestly, the currency's already that way anyway. You know what I mean? Like since the 50s, I think IBM has had a box, like it's like a computer, right? Like a computer, but in the 50s. And it was literally just a box with like a red light or a green light, depending on whether your account was positive or negative, right? That's what a computer was way back then. It was just a box that had a green or red light on it. And if your account was negative, you had a red light. But yeah, like I don't know. What if Benjamin Franklin is Satoshi Nakamoto, man? And then just like fucking the dollar and just the S of the Satoshi, and it all goes back around in a circle, and then bam, and fucking just get by a train. But I mean, it's clear to see the numbers rule the world either way. Whatever currency actually does take off, you know what I mean? Basically, the whole fungibility aspect gets me a lot. Gets me having a lot of Bitcoin is cool until you have a lot of Bitcoin, and it's scary. Yeah, I know that feeling. And you become a target. Yeah, I play. I like Monero private by default. Digital cash is important. 1 ounce of gold equals 1 ounce of gold. You can't tell whose hands it exchanged with. That's like why I like Monero. Yeah. No, I get it, man. I don't know. I've never looked at Monero enough to be honest with you. I'm still like a middle schooler, and like I guess in the knowledge of like crypto. Um, basically could maybe like maybe I could be like a fourth grader. You know what I mean? The amount of knowledge that I still have. Like I've learned a lot, but there's a lot that my mind I still don't comprehend. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? They talk about all this core versus knots and stuff, and everybody should be running a node, and like why do we need to be running a node? I'm like, you know what I mean? Like like, is that what mining is? Like, since if you're mining, you're mining a node. I don't, like, I don't know. Like, when you boil it all down to like the finest crack rock, you know what I mean? I don't necessarily get it, you know what I mean? But I don't know, dude. I think honestly they're just changing the symbol from an S to a B because we've inflated things so much that we've got all these zeros in the way now. It makes sense to just change the symbol from an S to a B and then get rid of a bunch of zeros. Like, like you have a megabyte and then you have a gigabyte, but you don't, I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, Bitcoin is just like a mega dollar, if that makes sense. Which it should. It should to some extent. It's a gigadollar. Yeah, it's probably more of a gigadollar than a megadollar. But we have to build it to get to, like it's not, it has to mature. You know what I mean? Like it has to be built by us to get there. It can't just, it has no value. We have to build the value. You know what I mean? But it's not impossible to make something out of nothing. You know what I mean? But I think I need to scoot on down the road. Yeah. Yeah, man. That's, like fucking water world type of shit, What's going on in the world? It is like pitch fucking black behind me. I should be able to see something out of my rear view though. Oh, it might be foggy. That's probably what it is. Where's that other car? I got this other car that's directly behind me. And then I've got the RV that's pretty much got me boxed the fuck in. And then I can only back up so far because there's another car behind me. And then the whole parking lot is like this rock plateau. So if you slide off one side, you're gonna roll the whole way down into a ditch. I don't know why I fucking parked like that, but let me bring the biggest vehicle to the smallest fucking parking lot. Yeah, Florida tag too. They could have took that bitch any fucking where. What do we got here? I work on one of those big industrial Bitcoin mines and upgrade infrastructure. It's kind of crazy, but behind it drives the local energy prices up. Yeah, that's true, man. I mean, like, that's the other thing too, is like it's crazy, like this, they're printing all this extra money, so it's like, in a way, well then, yeah, the stocks should be going up. Like, we should be able to show profits because you're adding all this currency into the mix, like, so when a company does show profit increase, like when like Amazon went from $100 a share to like $200 a share. But like, you got to remember, they doubled the money supply too, so it's still basically only worth $100 a share though. It's like Apple. You know what I mean? Apple's 3.8 trillion market cap right now, or something like that. But like, how much bigger can it get from there? Like, Apple's already pretty big. Like, what else are they gonna start making? Cars? It's like, I don't know, man. Michael Wiley. Bro, you heard me. I had to go. Yeah, I remember you. No, I'm sorry, man. I maybe have read that name once before. don't know. The channel's still kind of small. I'm not gonna lie to you, but it does say you're number 3 somehow. I don't know. Maybe you've been in here before. Somehow you're number 3. I don't know. I'm trying to find another place I can park, post up for the night, man. Your fucking RV just pissed me the fuck off, man. Oh, the stop smoking guy, yeah. Yeah. Hey, man, you make your own life choices. Don't tell me what life choices I need to be making. You know what I mean? I ain't telling you what life choices you should be making. Other than maybe, like, putting $100 on Bitcoin. But it's just, you know, it's just $100, man. Like, $100 is going to make or break you today. You know what I mean? Just go make another $100. You know? I'm actually driving. This camera angle is terrible. Like, you know, like if I was gonna live stream, I was gonna live stream myself driving, but be in this vertical angle, it'd be so fucking stupid, right? Like that's what I don't know, but I gotta be vertical because you know it's how you meet people, it's how you find viewers and shit. When I'm trying to, you know, get like a decent viewership, you know, like just be online with me all the time, you know what I mean? But you know, but like you want to throughout the day, you know, I don't, you know what I mean? Yeah, but it's, I don't know, I feel like it'd be more comfortable for it to be wide versus long. Like, you know what I mean? That aspect. Like, I do want to upgrade my phone and shit too, just so, like, this picture now would be a little bit better. And then the phone's RAM, I got, like, a huge RAM upgrade on this phone I'm thinking about getting. So it should, you know what I mean? The whole picture quality should be better, just flat out. You know what I mean? I might be able to get better service out of the phone because it's got better RAM, it can process faster. You know what I mean? But yeah, I don't know. To me, man, I don't know. If I'm vertically for like hours, man, I don't know, just think about it, man. It makes my hand hurt, my wrist hurt. You know what I mean? That's why I don't know. I just feel like holding it with 2 hands sideways. You know, because I do a long stream, man. You know what I mean? Y'all already see it. Sorry. Hang on. I'm out in the movies. I'm out in the movies. I'm trying to get to where I'm sorry. I didn't even want to have to fucking move where I was at, but I wasn't gonna sit there and be boxed in by this fucking RV. Straight fucking dumbass. You know, I'm trying to get down the road. I don't know how much further this road is. It shouldn't be too much longer. But yeah, I hope the new subscribers I've got off this last video, I hope they actually do end up like hanging out, staying and watching Long Story. I don't know, I think I'm you know, if I don't end up pissing somebody off by saying something, I'm, you know, I mean, I think I'm gonna do a good story and a long picture of things. There's a trend where Satoshi talks about ring signatures and stealth addresses, technologies that were implemented in Monero. Oh, hell yeah, man. Yeah, it might be good to have some, but I don't know. I thought ultimately, I think it'd be better if there weren't, because there could just be more market cap in Bitcoin itself. But like all these other coins that they're not even gonna make it anyway. You know what I mean? I'm not saying Monero's not gonna. You know what I mean? I'm talking like more of like Brett or Dog with Hat or Dogelon Musk, or Baby Doge, like all these coins that there's no fucking way these coins are actually gonna fucking make it and like actually be something where you can go to the store and they wanna take your Baby Doge's payment. Like come the fuck on. You know what I mean? But at the same time, man, it just fucks up Bitcoin, man. It makes Bitcoin look like dope. You know what I mean? And then like I said, it's more Bitcoin is damn sorry hard there, I guess. Sorry. It's this fucking area. Like I said, I wasn't even trying to move from that spot. I appreciate y'all hanging out through all the fucking buffer and wheel shit. I understand how that is, man. I'm trying to get to this boat ramp now. That way I can just park and hang out for another minute, Maybe drink another couple shots of rum. God damn, people, I swear. A whole fucking ass RV. You could have went anywhere in that bitch. All these meme coins are gonna go to zero. Well, they might not go to zero, but yeah, they're not gonna turn into anything you could use on a global use case. Like unless you convert it into another coin and then use that coin. You know what I mean? Like honestly, like if it's not a top 10 crypto, I don't think it's really gonna be something you can go to the store and spend. You know what I mean? That's what I'm waiting for. Like, it's crazy. I see stores that sell Bitcoin, but you can't use Bitcoin to buy things. You know what I mean? I don't know. It's kind of yeah. It doesn't make any sense to me. Like I've seen, like there's Circle K's. All the Circle K's around here, they literally have ATMs where you can, it's like it's an ATM where you can buy Bitcoin from, but then you can't turn around and then use the Bitcoin to buy something in the store. I don't understand that part. I really don't. Unless it's something that's going to come later. You know what I mean? I don't know. That's the only thing that makes any sense to me, to my head. Like, it's just, it's an adoption curve thing. You know what I mean? We're not even to the point where they're going to let the stores even do that yet, because they're still trying to get more retail investors in before it opens up all the way. You know what I mean? They're trying to let us be on top, not the corporations that already are, kind of, sort of. Yeah, it's not streamlined yet, but services where you could send crypto, get a prepaid Visa gift card. Yeah. Yeah, like, I don't know, even, like, crypto.com, the crypto app, or whatever. Just like the app is just crypto.com. I don't know. But they have their own credit card, where you can buy, like if you have a certain amount, it's gotta be a couple thousands. But you get different levels of a credit card. You can get, I don't like this car behind me now. This road I'm on, there's like no traffic. But there's a car behind me that's like flying, like he's trying to go 70 to catch up to me to read my tag or something. And I'm like right here about to turn too. So I hope it's not the police. It doesn't look like it's the police because their lights are too yellow. You know what I mean? Like they've got old sun faded lights, which usually the police don't have headlights like that. But they could be pulling me over just because they see me with my interior light on. I see you with your phone hanging in the window and you have your interior light on while driving down the road, so I figured I'd pull you over. What you got going on? Like, dude, for real? Yeah, no, that's the thing. Like, Yeah, once I convert my fiat into Bitcoin, it stays there. It stays Bitcoin. You know, there's no going back. I don't know why anybody goes back. I feel like I'm gonna puke, man. Fuck, I hate drinking. Ugh. 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 Fuck. I can like burp and taste it. It's like kind of the reason I don't like drinking. Just like I get like an acid reflux from it. Shit, it hurts. I think I'm gonna. It says no parking this side, no parking on that side. There's specifically a bunch of signs that say no parking on that side. So I'm gonna park over here. And I think we're good. Because I think even the people at this house, they've seen my card by now. You know what I mean? They'll just be like, oh, that guy's here again. That's the kind of the thing I like about coming here is sorry, put this light back on. I made it put this other light back on. That's decent. Yeah, that's all right. That can work. But yeah, there's like an $800,000 house like on the other side of the street, and then there's just homeless dude sleeping in his car on the other side of the street. Because it's a public boat ramp. Anybody can come down here. There's no signs that say you can't park overnight. I need something to drink. I need something. Like I'm thirsty. But I take a sip and I gag from drinking the alcohol earlier. Oh man. But Bitcoin's okay, man. It's not. I don't know. It's kind of weird, like, because I don't talk about the dollar. Fucking, like, I'm not saying I never talked about the dollar. That's kind of weird. You know what I mean? You don't just. No, like, I haven't seen nobody spend like 8 hours just talking about the dollar. You know? It's crazy how crypto. You know what I mean? Crypto is the people that are hip to it. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I don't know. It like takes over in a way. Like once you see the new system, your eyes can't you can't unsee it. You don't just go back to the old system and act like you didn't see it. You know what I mean? Like we're still fucking this stuck in we're fucking this stuck in this stupid like caveman throwing paper balls at each other bullshit. You know, like, fucking throwing paper balls at each other to pay you. You know, I don't know. Working ourselves like dogs, competing with each other. I got someone coming down the street now. You see him. I just turned my light off, and then there's someone coming down the street. They're probably going to turn and go down another street, or they're going to come up and do a U-turn because they're curious. I don't know. Again, it's a public boat ramp. Yeah, it's part of the thing I hate about small towns, man. It's just people are just nosy. Like this guy, he probably seen me drive down the road, and then so he got all the way. He probably was on his porch or something, and then got all the way into his truck to come drive down here and do a U-turn. Okay, I guess he's walking out the dock for some reason. How you doing, Mike? I don't know, man. Yeah, people are fucking weird, man. It's a good thing to be weird. Keep a low profile being weird. I need to, I should put this, I got the sunshade I should put up because I got the light shining like right out this window. But I can't put the sunshade up because I got the phone hanging from like a window mount, like one of them suction cup window mounts. I don't know, man. Yep. I'm just a little worried because I got this bottle of alcohol in the car with me, open container and shit. Oh man, there's a fucking damn. There's already fucking mosquitoes in this bitch. I barely got the windows cracked. There's already fucking mosquitoes. Like, fuck. Fucking mosquitoes are bad in Florida, man. They'll fucking like try to pick you up and carry you away. I've seen two of them, so there's probably another two I don't see yet. I'll feel them. Man, fucking mosquitoes, man. Fuck, it's getting to be summer now. Then I was just out here. I was just out here like a week ago. I slept here. I had the windows like down. Yeah. I'm getting kind of tired. Might call it a night. 3 hours live. Yeah. Oh, channel membership. Yeah, dog. That's crazy. But I appreciate y'all hanging out, man. I'm wondering where Fred's at. Hope I didn't piss Fred off. He normally doesn't show up for the Saturday show. That's true too. Like he's just because the time of day, like Fred. I'm not gonna say what country he's in, but yeah, he's like 12 hours back. So with it being 1 a.m., it's probably like 1 p.m. in the afternoon for him, where he's at. Man, that light looks like it's bright as fuck. It's on low beam. It's on low beam light, but I can see it shining on this bush that's in front of the car. There's probably this long beam you can see from 300 meters away. Yeah, I'm not sure what this truck is doing. I'm kind of keeping. That's them back there, like that's that truck. But like I said, they just drove down. They drove down to the dock, and they're just sitting. I don't know, like went down. They walked all the way down the dock, but feeding water or something. It's kind of a weird time of night. But I guess it is Saturday. People will be doing some weird shit Saturday night. Okay, I'm not looking for a good second there. Looks like the dude is like bending over and just taking a shit. Like it looks like he just pulled his pants down and then he's like squatting and just like taking a shit right there on the middle of the ramp. Which is kind of funny because you think tomorrow's Sunday morning there's gonna be a bunch of people trying to come down here and put the boat in the water, and then he just there's this shit, just this right square in the middle of the ramp. fresh, fresh and early for you on Sunday morning. I swear that's what it looked like he did. Like the way his posture was, he's like hunched down and everything. Like he was definitely taking shit. I'm sorry, I'll stop. Just like I don't know, one thing I had to tell somebody I saw it. We're sitting there, so take this shit in the middle of the boat ramp. Hey, that's Florida. That's Florida man. Florida man. Shit, yeah, we got competitions to see who can be the most Florida man in the world. Bradley, I hope you're old enough to be here. I don't need your parents coming here like next week and shit. And like, you ruined my son. You should be over 18. I'd be pissed, man. Fucking mosquitoes, man. Yeah. Gotcha. Yeah, it's crazy. I got like 25% of my viewers are over 65, which is, I feel like it's a big chunk of my viewers to be over 65. Like, I'm not mad, you know what I mean? Whatever. Probably just, people that are retired and seeing what, younger generations going through. Or, people that are almost retired, but, people that should be retired. The system is so corrupt that they're still having to work for another couple of years. I don't know. But at least I can, at least I'm funny to somebody that's older, somebody that should be older and wiser. I'm still, you're still you're laughing at my dumbass shit. You know what I mean? I don't mean that in a bad way. You know what I mean? It's just nice. It's nice that you catch my humor. You know what I mean? Being that you're from another, you sound like you're Gen X. You know what I mean? Being that you're not a millennial, and then you can catch a millennial's humor. You know what I mean? It's crazy that we didn't. I was thinking this earlier. It's crazy that we didn't invent a drone sooner. If you think about it, like it's so simple. It's just a fucking helicopter with four blades. You know what I mean? Like why did they not have those as toys in the 70s? Like well, whenever they had RC, whenever they had RC planes and boats and like whenever those, I think that was in the 70s, right? But yeah, like I don't know why they didn't have drones in the 70s. Makes no sense that it took until like 2011 to make a drone. Yeah, Twitch is to do that. I think we need two phones to do that. I don't think it's gonna be live stream on YouTube and then live stream Twitch from the same device. I think I would honestly need two phones to do that. Because if I have Twitch open as the primary app on that phone, you know what I mean? I don't think it'll let me. I'll have to get all the device to do that. Because I do have a Twitch channel, but it's got a completely different name. Like I had a solid ass name on PlayStation, just like my solid ass name, Florida Swamp Monkey hits, I'll be in like other people's chat, like there's their chat, and then they read my name and they're like, Florida Swamp Monkey, like hell yeah, I mean, hell yeah, how you doing, man? It's crazy how often that happens. Like once I get the person, once I get them to read my name and they read it, they're like, oh shit, like, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, my name on PlayStation Network, it was proof of work, right? Which since I'm a Bitcoin fan, my name on PlayStation Network was proof of work, like underscore, of and then underscore work, all spelled, in proper English, proof of work. I mean, it was crazy. Like two people actually caught on that, like two people on the whole entire everybody I ran into on PlayStation Network. Two to maybe five people. I don't remember the other three. They're like, I swear, like two people that like actually caught on. That like, oh, they were like, oh, that's a crypto thing. Oh, you're a Bitcoiner. And I'm like, you got, I'm like everybody thinks I'm trying to PvP because my name is proof of work. Like how randomly, like proof of work. Like some of the times I'm trying to do like a game, um, which I get like 50 subscribers on Twitch. You need for some reason on probably now having nothing with it. I lost my account on PlayStation, and my name on PlayStation Network was proof of work. Like I can't think of an account name that would be any better than that. Like I have free missiles, right? Like free, and then I think like a hyphen, and then missiles, right? But that's for GTA, like missile lock on stuff. You just fire a missile and it just locks on and just blows somebody up in their car. You know what I mean? It's fucking fun. They got a whole account that's literally named free missiles. You kill somebody, free missiles. But yeah, the only reason free missiles is because free bullets was already taken. You know what I mean? Of course, free bullets was taken. Crazy that free missiles wasn't already taken. I mean, I had another account that was called Proof of Two. It's not gonna hit as hard. It's really not. Like I said, that account got banned. It was so stupid. It went from a 30-day ban, a 30-day ban twice, and it gave me a 60-day ban, and then the next time I got banned, it was permanently, which I was like 60 days to like a 1 year, and then maybe a 5 year if it comes down to it. You know what I mean? But I don't know how it went from 60-day ban, my first 60-day ban. Every dollar I spent on all these different games, every world dollar I spent on all these fucking different games, and everything I accrued in the digital assets that I had in these games. But I don't know, I had a bunch of shit, Fallout 76. Like if you've ever played Fallout 76, there's a scene bottle cap of the currency in Fallout. But if you're like a high level player in Fallout 76, the real currency is bobbleheads, right? Like caps you really don't want because they have like a max cap limit. You can constantly be capped out. So you're trying to find items that you can buy that are worth it to hold. Like you want to convert your caps. You convert your caps into another currency in the game. Anyway, I had thousands of bobbleheads, right? And the size of the stack of these bobbleheads, I could have got real world dollars out of, and then my whole account gets fucking banned. I was actively trying to do that too because I was getting into Bitcoin harder, and I wonder, I do have these other digital assets like technically in the game. Like, I bet if I can, like, if I could sell 1,000 bobbleheads for $10, and then it's all just for playing the game anyway. You know what I mean? Like I'm gonna play the game either way. It's fun to play the game. And take these 1,000 bobbleheads that I'm not going to use because I'm too stingy to use them because I saved up till I've got 1,000 of them. It's like I'm gonna sell these $1,000, 1,000 bobbleheads for. I'm like, they're a penny a piece. They're a fucking penny a piece. Like, dude, bobbleheads are a penny a piece. But yeah, crazy. How many people offer to do it and you want to buy them? I'm like, you're fucking retarded, bro. They're playing the game, I don't know. Who used them in the account and fucking thousands of magazines, thousands of bobbleheads. That's just one game. It was just the one. That was just the one. Everything done in fucking Red Dead. Everything I had collected in Red Dead. Everything I had was just coming out anyway here in another 4 years. But I don't think they're gonna let us transfer this where over a level playing field. You can like membership stuff. Like you get the I'm trying to get get 500 subscribers, but I also need 3,000 hours viewed, which my channel is really struggling with. But this last video I made about Bitcoin and chill, it hit a pretty broad audience. So I think like even like that video, I'm gonna try to my cursing in the next one, and then they'll basically send that next video out to the same audience, the last video, to basically at least Bitcoin. If it was interesting, that they literally did when they find. I honestly I don't know why it's doing that. I really don't know why it's doing that. I don't know why it's doing that. It makes no. I'm not even like camera constantly. You know what I mean? Take the money that I'm making from Uber driving and put it on my credit card like I should. But like I said, it's under 70. I haven't smoked crack or that I ever would. I already got enough of an addiction from everything else. That's the funny thing. Like you see a crackhead, they still smoke weed. Like they smoke crack too now. Usually that's what I've noticed too. But do other drugs, they smoke weed too. They just do another, like they smoke weed and all day long. Because it's like time, it's like time consumer to smoke weed, right? Then like people that do other drugs too, they still end up having weed. Like, I mean? You're gonna still have to buy a fucking bag of weed. Like you just like double your fucking habit. You just like doubled it for like no fucking reason. You know what I mean? I guess it's like one good thing about being an American is you got like an allowance for a drug habit, monthly allowance that you can spend on a drug, whether it be alcohol or marijuana or prescriptions even. What do we got here? Palm tree, fish, like a nice snorkel. But I don't know why it's reconnecting like that. I don't know why it's done that. It's showing me I got 3 out of 5 bars, but it is showing me 5G, not 4. So it should still be decent. You know what I mean? It probably is just 3 bars is bullshit. At the same time, probably what it is. 3 bars is really just one. Because the phone can only do so much. I apologize. But yeah, I was trying to get to 500 subscribers, but as I'm getting closer to 500 subscribers, I don't have view time anyway. So I might just have to wait till 1,000 subscribers before it can. It is insane the amount of bugs that come into my car. This light's on, but even still, like fuck, it is insane the amount of bugs that come in my car. You can tell them on Twitch a lot. Like, oh, I got some shit on Twitch, and I got some shit on TikTok, and then I got some shit on Instagram. I got all these different fucking apps I got to juggle, trying to produce videos for YouTube in the first place. You know what I mean? Just like more work for, I don't know. Like, I guess you could hit like, if I was running on all these different platforms, I could hit 1 million subscribers faster across, like when all 5 platforms, I got 1 million subscribers across all 5 platforms. But still, it has a lot of fucking work to run 5 platforms. Like this last video, like I said, it kind of took off a little bit. The comments are going crazy, and then I'm just trying to I don't know, trying to just reply to all the comments kind of on this last video. You know what I mean? And that's been a lot to keep up with. It's been nuts. No, not like too, you know what I mean? But about every 2 hours or so, I'll check the phone and there's like some stuff, whether it's positive or, most are positive. People that get it. One guy even posted, he's like, dude, it's like, I never actually understood Bitcoin until the way that you just explained it there, like how it's like a collectible, it's like, think of like if you had the first issue of Batman, like the first Batman comic, right? I don't know how much it goes for today. I know back before I made it in high school, I mean, it was like a $50,000 comic. And the first issue of Batman. Right? But then it's a comic book, right? So, granted, it might be worth say it's $1 million comic book today, because comics all kind of like the Marvel and the whole Marvel fight. You have to have it on the other hand, dollar, yuan, currency. It's already a currency. Whereas the Batman comic that you hold, you plan to hold and collect, and hold, it goes up in value. You're liable. You're liable for its condition the whole way. You know what I mean? Yeah, I love watching all GTA RP. I'll tell you, if you haven't found them yet, you should check them out. They troll the people on GTA RP. They're funny. They do Red Dead too. The best guy, the number one guy, I think, not the biggest, but that's kind of like it. The other guy is actually bigger, but I think the other guy that's smaller, I think he's funnier. You know what I mean? He's more off the wall than the guy that YouTube likes, and he's more on the front line. But yeah, the guy that I like, his name is Big Chief. I think it's Chief CHEEF. But yeah, Big Chief. But you should check him out if you like GTRP. David Drops is really good too. David Drops is the other guy, the bigger guy that YouTube likes more. David Drops, he's got a video where he was trolling some girl. He pulled her over. He was playing as a cop in RP, and he pulled her over for speeding. And she goes across like 3 lanes, and she's just driving like she's just driving like she's on GTA. He pulls her over for reckless driving, and she's got a big old hissy fit, bitch fit, blah, blah, blah. He's like, I want another officer, blah, blah, blah. And then it's the whole episode was funny. I won't ruin it for you. I'm already over explaining it. I've been watching a lot of Mr. Moonhouse and Sentry. Yeah, David Drops. I think Big Chief is better. And then for Red Dead RP, Slice Bread. 012. That dude is fucking hilarious. But yeah, if you like RP, but they're trolling the people on RP. They're not sitting there for 5 hours doing some Red Dead RP stuff. You know what I mean? It's like a 20-minute video. Something to do while you're on the toilet. If not, if nothing else. But yeah, man, it's funny. It's worth checking it out. Yeah, yeah. And the Red Dead RP people, they go hard. You know what I mean? They all have accent and shit. Like there was one I go in. This girl, and she's like talking about being a ranch owner. I go into town and work my job, and I'm like, hey, no, I'm like, it's 1898. You're supposed to have a job. Remember, you're not playing correctly. And she muted me. Like fuck y'all. Yeah, I'm getting real with y'all. like, are women even actually allowed to own land back then? You're a ranch owner. How's that? Y'all pissed off. I'm just trying to keep it real. Sheriff in Blackwater, he'll have you hung. Well, it's a good thing I live in San Diego. Well, you'll have trouble trying to find me out in Tumbleweed. But no, I'm ready for Red Dead 3. I don't want to really. GTA 6 is gonna be cool because it's Florida. It's like Miami, West. You know what I mean? Like they did it. The amount of Florida that's from Miami and the edge of Key West. If they have a half scale of that built into the game, that's gonna be a huge map. They have mobile RP games that are pretty good. Mobile RP games. What do you mean, man? I was thinking about doing that because I could. I'm already planning on getting the other phone. Have the bird on this phone. I could be playing like RuneScape, right? And I'm going and I'm live streaming myself. Doing the gaming thing. And just hit a different audience maybe or whatever. Um, you know what I mean? Have more retention from viewers because I'd still be talking and doing that and shit. But there's something going on. Like you watch me play RuneScape on my other phone. You know what I mean? Have it all set up and pointed at each other. Two cameras and pointing at each other. Like you're kind of inviting the spirit world to make an appearance or something like that. I've heard. Or some like the old cameras that you used to have to plug in the TV with the yellow and white and red wire. You take that camera and you plug it into the TV. If you did like a loop, you point the camera at the TV, and you like that long mirror thing. You could actually catch ghosts and shit coming by and shit. You look it up, dude. You can find you called instrumental transcommunication from what I remember, ITC. But yeah, dude, it was like the guy like he found out Albert Einstein. Like he was around with the ITC stuff, and like at least it's an old video, so it's like before they really had the stuff to like doctor. You know what I mean? It's an old shitty video, and like at the time, I don't know if they would have spent that much time, but like yeah, I looked up, dude. It's worth a couple minutes to look at ITC, instrumental transcommunication. Where like the old I don't know if a bunch of people just popped. It's yeah, you basically take a school camera, like pulls into the TV with the red and yellow wires. You probably could go get one at the Google or something maybe. You just pick the screen inside the screen inside the screen inside the screen. But yeah, you sit there and you can have ghosts like appear and stuff like in the image, or there's stuff with like reflections people do like tinfoil in a bowl of water. You like have a camera pointed at a bowl of water and I don't know, the camera pointed, you can catch images of shit with, you catch there's like, I don't know, yeah, maybe a Steam Deck. But I don't know. Steam Deck, I can't justify buying like because I'm a Bitcoiner. You know what I mean? Like, I can't just be buying a whole bunch of random shit. You know what I mean? Already kind of like the Buddhist in me is like, no, dude, you don't need that's fucking stupid, bro. You don't need the phone, really. But you can't really argue like, dude, it's 2026. Like you do need a phone. How am I gonna work if I don't have a phone? You know what I mean? So, no, are you dealing cars? No, why do you need a second phone? You fucking you talk to more than one girl? No. Well then why do you need a second phone? It's kind of I don't know what I'm thinking with that. See, you know what I mean? It's like I don't have laptop I'd be able to create better thumbnails with, and I mean, all editing and doing I'm doing this phone. You know what I mean? I don't even have an iPhone, so I don't, there's like edit apps and stuff that's like exclusive to Apple. You know what I mean? 'Cause I don't know, trying to I don't know, trying to be as frugal as possible. 100%. The Steam Deck isn't like $1,000. That's a lot. It's like 100,000 satoshis. I don't know. I don't like messing with the spirit. Yeah, I don't really fuck with them too much either. It's crazy. Like we live in a world where people believe in ghosts, but they don't believe in God. Isn't that crazy? Like how can a conspiracy exist without there being like, you know what I mean? Like people are afraid of ghosts, and then they don't believe in God. Like really, like stop and think about that. You know, so it'd be nice to have a little game station. I don't know. I've got a VR head, believe it or not. I've got a Quest 2, a friend of mine. But I'm open to get it. So you kind of, all you have to do is bust this window and pop my trunk open. You know what I mean? But yeah, I don't know. It's stupid to be like, I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. I'm here with it, man. I'm sorry, man. If you can go, I mean, I'm kind of as limited it should be, and I got plenty of battery. I'm gonna upgrade it. Just give me like one more check. I promise, man. Sorry. Dude, you could do like you could hold it and then do 2x speed, right? So you can do the 2x speed to like catch back up, but it might even be better to have it just be like 4 seconds, 10 seconds behind to have 10 seconds buffer. And the chat I assume is like behind anyway, so you know what I mean. Time I'm rambling, and then finally look down. And go, oh yeah, y'all said something. It's not that bad. Yeah, I don't know. You know what I mean? Now that I've got some kind of viewership, I got some kind of loyalty. I don't even know why it's doing that. Like it shouldn't even be doing that. I'm very close to the actual town. I'm actually in the city kind of still. Shouldn't be doing this. It's Saturday though. Probably the bandwidth itself is kind of like that's probably what it is. There's a lot of people cheaper as well. So it's just struggling. Yeah, like the whole west coast is now off. Their midnight scrolling. And now I was trying to like find out which be live for about 4 hours. It'd be better just to close this one and crawl into the in the back. Probably go live at some point, just out of boredom. Man. Had the right to come there, but they were showing up. They were showing up like I don't know. I was afraid to go to sleep there just because they. I'm going. I'm show up. I'm working in progress.